of Southern California, Valley Sports West, the heart of the fan.
Angels Live is on the air from Cleveland, and as always is brought to you by your Southern California Cadillac dealers. Angels kicking off a 3-game series against the Guardians, who are trying to get themselves into the postseason. Here's what's on tap from the home of Rock and Roll Hall of Fame and the home of Superman. Speaking of Superman, Mike Trout goes for 7 in a row. I will explain. Shohei Ohtani, speaking of Superman, continues to stay hot on the mound and at the plate. And Reid Detmers hopes to be Superman as he takes to the mound. As we welcome you inside our Santa Monica studios, Kent French alongside Superman Bobby Valentine. Welcome, everybody. Yes. Don't get altitude sickness. By the way, Cleveland is also the home to the giant free stamp, a chair designed by Frank Lloyd Wright, worm candy.
Wow, worm
actual
candy.
Worms, Drew
Nice.
Carey, and the former home of Baker Mayfield. That's and a great place to vacation.
It's got a lake and everything. I mean, Cleveland's got it all.
Yeah,
you got to go there.
They also got a 3-game series that we're going to get you ready for. Halo is there to take on the Guardians. We mentioned a lot going on in that AL Central. We'll get to that in a moment, but also a lot going on with your Halos. Bobby, 22 games left in the regular season for the Angels, since, of course, they're not going to the postseason. As a former manager of winning teams, but I'm sure there was a team in there on occasion that didn't go to the postseason.
Oh, yeah.
What were you telling your guys at this point in the season to get them ready for a game, get them ready for the home stretch?
Yeah, with the teams that weren't going to the playoffs, you know, by this time of the year, I just wasn't talking to anyone, to tell you the truth. I was really angry at them, so there were no conversations, Frenchie. And to be truthful, this is the time that you shine for next year. This is the time that you make sure everyone believes you're earning your salary every day that you come to the ballpark. And this is the time that you get statistics for yourself. That's what you're doing. Knock someone else out of a pennant race, but go for it. Concentrate. Leave a good taste in everyone's mouth at the end of the season when they're digesting your performance.
Now I know why you didn't speak to me on the ride here. Just becomes very clear so quickly. Hey, let's talk about getting ready for it next year. So Mike Trout, one of your superstars, he's not jogging, he's not running, he is sprinting to the finish line, Bobby, and hopes to sprint into next spring, because today he goes for his 7th consecutive game with a home run. And we've said it time and time again, but ever since he's come back from that back injury, he's been better than ever, and he's proving to the league he is the 3-time MVP from the American League.
Yeah, Frenchie started out so good. You know, his numbers were good. He was hitting all pitches. Then he had a little setback. After that setback, he got hot again, and then he had a month setback. But since he's been back, the fastball, slider, curveball, and change have been his friends when they come into his hitting zone. It doesn't matter what pitch it is or even where it is. He's just launching these balls over the plate, over the fence, and into the history book. On
Saturday night, he picked up his 7th home run in 7 consecutive games, or should I say 6, excuse me. He's looking for 7, and that broke Bobby Bonds' record for the Halo franchise mark back in 1977. As you mentioned, he's hitting everything and anything that is close to being over the plate, and he's hitting it a very long, long way. But as we move into this rarefied air, when you talk about 7 games with 7 straight home runs, there are some pretty impressive company, and also some names, Bobby, that we were looking at moments ago, and kind of like, well, wait a second, they did that?
Yeah, sometimes you're hot, and you get hot, and you get the pitches, and boy, that zone lasts for 7 days for a couple guys on this list. And some guys were Hall of Fame, spectacular players, and home run hitters. And this is the best home run hitter ever born in Canada. Yeah, Joey Votto hit 7 in a row, and he wanted to march off the field. You know, Morales had a great career switch hitting, came back from a horrible leg injury and hit 7 in a row. And who's Kevin?
Who's he?
Yeah, well, Kevin played for the Rangers, and Mensch was a 7-man in a row. And how about Barry Bonds?
That guy.
Not Bobby Bonds. Imagine Mike Trout could be the only person ever to break a father-son record in the same week. Whoa, that would be cool, because that was Jim Thome, who's part of the list.
Let's see if we could add Mike Trout's name to that list tonight in Cleveland. But from one Superman to another, of course, we're going to Shohei Ohtani. And after throwing 5 innings of one-run baseball on Saturday night, leaving the game because of a blister on his finger, oh, yeah, he wants to be in there on Sunday. And all he does in the first inning is hit a one-handed home run.
Yeah, and it was the hand with the blister on it, so he's okay. Yeah, he's just fine. And, you know, once again, Mike Trout hearing about Shohei breaking a record every time he swings the bat or goes to the mound. Mike Trout is a great player, and he wants to be mentioned every time in the same conversation with Shohei Ohtani. But, you know, Shohei's a little younger, and the things that he is doing have never been done before. So he's not breaking records, he's setting records, and it will be up to him to continue this stretch for his next 80 at-bats to see how high those numbers can get, because they could get to be MVP-like numbers.
He is better than ever on the mound, I should say, but at the plate, he's got 7 home runs in his last 12 games, and we'll dive into this a little bit later on, but he's in the top 5, Bobby, in virtually every offensive and pitching category. You need to put this guy, or should I say keep him in the MVP race. He is very much neck and neck with Aaron Judge. And let's show you how hot he's been since June 9th. Check out these numbers, and don't forget about the pitching at the bottom of this graphic.
And don't forget that half of these at-bats were done without Mike Trout in the lineup, with no protection at all, doing it on his own. You've got to tip your hat to what you're seeing when this young man goes out on the baseball field.
And this is considered almost half a season, so he has turned things around. And Shohei Ohtani, one of the fiercest competitors we've ever seen in the game. I know we have some fun joking around with this friendly competition between Mike Trout and Shohei, but I got to think there's some competition between Shohei and Aaron Judge.
Without a doubt. And, you know, Shohei is a guy who might be on the trade market at the same time Aaron Judge is on the free agent market. They might be competing for the same team that they play for in the future. So there's a lot at stake here. And as one raises the bar, the other one tries to best it, because not only are there records concerned here, oh, yeah, there's also a pot of money that's concerned here, and both of them will get it.
It's at the end of that rainbow. We'll see who ends up getting that and getting the MVP for the American League at the end of the end of the season, as we do take our first time out here on Angels Live, coming at you from our Santa Monica studios. When we do come back, this is the time to shine, yeah, for the superstars, but for the rising stars, as Reid Detmers looks to bounce back against Cleveland. He's at a pennant race.
We love going to games, but good seats get pricey. So we use Game Time. Game Time checks ticket prices in real time and finds you all the best last-minute deals. We got our seats 20 minutes ago for 60% off. Last-minute tickets at the best price in seconds. Download Game Time now.
California Cadillac dealers. Bobby and I are here at the Valley Sports West studios in Santa Monica. The Angels are in Cleveland to take on the Guardians for the first of 3. And it's going to be a heated battle. Yes, the Angels not fighting for anything except a little bit of respect, and also maybe trying to be a spoiler to this Guardians team, trying to hang on to the top spot in the AL Central. And we mentioned at the beginning of the show, what are these guys? What are you telling these guys last 22 games of the regular season? Well, a Reid Detmers, you're saying, you know what, this is an opportunity. You played Houston last time out. Now you're taking on Cleveland. High-pressure situations. We're hoping the Angels find themselves in this situation from a team perspective next year.
Yeah, eventually you'll be able to look back at this experience, and hopefully it will help you do what you intend to do in winning a championship of your own. But also, coaches are going over the Reid and say, hey, listen, Reid, there's 22 games left. You're probably going to get 4 or 5 more starts. Let's tear up the records, what you've done up until now, and let's just take these next 4 or 5 starts and see how you finish. Because as you finish, you will begin next year.
A tough 4+ innings last time out against Houston, but since July 8th when he returned from AAA, 3-2, a 2.52 ERA and 61 Ks. You see him there mowing down Texas. Here is a StatCast 3D when you take a look at what his curve and slider can do and the difference in break. And how impressive is this to you? Oh, it's really impressive. And, what's most impressive, as you saw, they both come out of his hand. Oh, yeah. And then the curveball in blue goes a little higher out of his hand and drops a lot further from its apex, that highest point that it gets. It drops 67 inches while his slider is in the same trajectory. Remember, it came from the same launching pad. Yes, right out of his hand. But as it comes to the plate, it comes at more velocity, 10 miles an hour more, and it moves laterally rather than vertically. And it plays havoc with a hitter's sight. Because remember, last thing I'll tell you, a hitter doesn't hit what the pitcher throws. The hitter hits what the pitcher sees. It's not the last thing he's going to tell you. You kidding? Who are we kidding right now? I'll tell you what, though. We need someone to tell us about these solid, up-and-coming left-handed halo throwers. So right now, Erica Weston talking with the skipper, Phil Nevin.
All right, guys, thanks very much. Phil, let's talk a little bit about the pitching staff that we have going in this 3-game series against the Guardians, because a lot has been talked about with the bright future ahead with these 3 lefties. So we'll start with your guy, Reid Detmers, tonight on the mound, who's been a different pitcher since he went back down and worked on that slider. Should get some attention as far as the Rookie of the Year campaign goes, but he's been a completely different guy since he's come back up. Your thought about his growth from that point on?
Yeah, I mean, each time out, it's been a learning experience. He's gotten better and better. It's exciting for us to sit and watch this, this development. Like he went down, the slider picked up a few miles an hour, just a tiny little mechanical twitch we made, our pitching guys made, but he's really done a heck of a job. He's pounded the strike zone. He's limited, the damage, so to speak, when you get runners out there. But what he's really done is he's been able to get back in the strike zone and find his strike pitch when, before he really didn't have that. Things would kind of snowball on him. And as a young pitcher, it's hard to reel that stuff in. And, the maturity that really Reid and all 3 of the lefties you're going to see these next 3 days, for me, like each time out, they're just growing more and more mentally, maturity-wise, physically, and it's really fun to watch.
I don't want to use the word avoid, but you pushed back his start to this series rather than facing the Astros because he'd faced them a handful of times prior. Why was it important to make that adjustment for him? And not only because this is the most innings he's pitched in his major league career as well.
Well, he's still going to get the same amount of starts. He was either going to go each Friday or he's going to go now on the Mondays, and it actually turns into a Sunday a couple days. But it was more to give him a different look, for one. A couple days rest wasn't going to hurt. Somebody that's approaching an innings level that he's never been at before, just to kind of reset. Not to cut back on his innings and all. Like you say, he's not the same amount of starts, and there's no limitations. You know, if he's pitching well, I'm going to let him go as long as our pitch count allows, which is a normal pitch count for a normal start day for him. So, yeah, I'm excited to have him out there today after a couple more days of a little bit of a rest. He did some work during these starts that I think is going to be beneficial. So, be fun to watch.
Let's look to game number 2. Jose Suarez, who's coming off arguably maybe his best start of his young career outside of that complete game he had last season. He's kind of been a different guy since that start against the Yankees too.
You just see the confidence growing in him. You see him. He's got such a great personality. He's excited to pitch. He's excited when he does well. And I mean, and the numbers are showing it. I mean, I think it's somewhere in around. It's not to go over the numbers, but I mean, I know they're really, really good. And I mean, at the top of the league as far as since the All-Star break. And once again, really just fun to watch his maturity and his growth. Pushing him in games sometimes when maybe he would have, either wanted out or looked in the dugout and asked. Now he's fighting to stay deeper in games, which, quite frankly, over the course of a whole season, I mean, you need that out of your starters. You need depth out of your starters to save our bullpen. And next year, looking forward to these are going to be playing meaningful games and hopefully in October and keeping those guys fresh. So it's important for these guys to be able to understand what it's like to navigate a lineup and go through the third time through when it's tough and understand what you did before to hitters in the first 2 times and maybe do something differently the third time. So it's all 3 of them, like I said, but Suarez obviously has emerged as somebody that's going to be a stabilizing piece of our rotation.
And last but certainly not least, Sandy, in the finale, we know how passionate he is about his craft, and how can he channel the emotions that we see on the mound? We know how fiery he gets into elongating his game and staying out there for longer periods of time, which is basically something that he has been working on the whole season.
He's aware of it, and I think he's gotten better and better with it. Either whether it's a talk for me or Weiser. Actually, a lot of times it's a catcher. Dicey went out a couple times last time and really reeled him in. He is of the 3 has had the most trouble like reeling it back in when things go wrong. It's not necessarily something that he's around. It was a play behind him, it was a call at the plate, and he's understanding the next pitch now is the most important thing going for you. You can't let the last pitch affect the next one because he can't let it affect a few pitches beyond. So. No, he's done a great job. The changeup's been a difference maker for he and Suarez, but Sandy's breaking stuff has been good. He's controlled both sides of the plate and thrown a lot of strikes, and really that's where he's gotten into trouble in the past, but he's been able to control the zone a lot better.
Should be an exciting series seeing these 3 guys go. We appreciate the insight as always.
All right, thanks.
All right, guys.
Erica, Phil, thank you very much. Look forward to the lefty young guns in this series. And when we do come back, we'll take a look at the team they will be facing. It is the Guardians holding on to the lead in the Central.
The game is changing, and so are the shows that talk about it. MLB Network's Off Base.
What's going on, everyone?
A modern baseball show for the modern baseball fan.
It doesn't get much better than sitting around and talking baseball.
Only on MLB Network.
and as always, presented by your Southern California Cadillac dealers, Halos. They are in Cleveland to take on the Guardians. First of 3, and these Guardians, yeah, they're hanging on to the top spot in the AL Central. As you welcome back to our Santa Monica studios, Ken Fremsch, that is Bobby Valentine. And let's get into this Cleveland team. And Terry Francona doing a good job putting these guys together. A great pitching staff, great bullpen. Do they have enough, though, Bobby, as you take a look at the standings, to hang on and take that AL Central?
I believe that Chicago is supposed to win that division all year long, and I think they're finally going to get their act together, maybe, and win it. But Cleveland will still be in the playoffs, and, you know, they've done a heck of a job without great stars on the team, without the best young players on the team, but with a really good group that pitch well, whether they're starting or relieving, and a group of hitters that don't hit it over the fence, but understand how to score enough to get a W at the end of the game.
And they have a superstar kind of hidden in Cleveland by the name of Jose Ramirez. Maybe flies under the radar a little bit, but he shouldn't. He's one of the best young players in the game, and he has been for some time.
Yeah, he's under the radar for sure because he's only 5'9". What the heck's one of these little guys? Yeah, he weighs about 190 pounds. He's a switch hitter, and he is underappreciated because he can hit the ball out of the park from both sides of the plate. He could steal a base. He could hit a good pitcher and hit a good pitcher hard. That's one right there you see in the video, who threw him a slider up and away that's hardly ever put in play, and he put it in play for 4 bases. So this is a guy who can get 80 to 90 extra base hits a year. He could score 100 runs a year, plays all the time, picks it well in the field. When you say he's under the radar, he's really underappreciated, but should not go undernoticed by our staff. I'm sure he won't be, because he can really play.
And this is the first time since 2017 he might not swipe 20 bags. He is that type of player who's got it all. And as you mentioned, 26 homers, 109 RBI with about 20-plus games left in the season. The Halo Hurlers will be looking to shut down one Jose Ramirez over the next 3 games as we take one more time out here on Angels Live, coming at you from our Santa Monica studios. But when we do come back, we're going to show you the lineup that's going to back up Reid Detmers tonight in Cleveland.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network.
Jerome's. Let me say that again. Catch all the action from Jerome's best seat in the house. Sign up for a chance to win at jeromes.com as the fans file into Progressive
field in Cleveland. Game 1 of this 3-game series between the Angels and the Guardians. Who's backing up Reid Detmers here tonight? This is your lineup. No Fletch, still out with that hand injury, but x-rays were negative. He is day-to-day. Luis Rengifo gets the leadoff duties, but you gotta like they kept Trout, Ohtani, and Ward together.
Yeah, they're together, and, you know, down at the bottom, Velasquez, remember, he's hitting only from the right side, and for whatever it's worth, folks, these eyes think it looks really good.
Joe Adell in the lineup, 7th, playing left field, 2 for 4 yesterday with a run scored. He'll get an opportunity to show what he can do as this season winds to an end. But when you look at the Angels and getting started in game 1 of a 3-game series, biggest thing you want to see in the first inning out of this Halo team?
Well, I like to have him get off to a good start so we get the starter out and get some of the weak relievers in, because Mike Trout and Ohtani need to hit some over the fence tonight.
See if Mike Trout can hit his 7th home run in his last 7 days, as Angels baseball is next.
I'm bringing back my spicy chicken strips.
Look, I think I just need someone more emotionally available. We seemed like a good match, but in person, I'm just getting a lot of mixed signals.
It's the bobblehead, isn't it?
I love your smile, but I can't do this anymore.
I thought you were a home run.
Oh, gosh. Max, don't do this.
There's a better way to bring the game home. Visit MLBshop.com for your favorite team gear and today's special offer.
Of LA, Valley Sports West, the heart of the fan.
Today's ball game is
brought to you by your SoCal Chevy dealers. And the Angels are here in Cleveland, Ohio, kicking off a 3-game series against the Cleveland Guardians here at Progressive Field. Beautiful weather that we brought with us here to Cleveland. Rock and roll alongside two-time All-Star Mark Gubicza, Patrick O'Neill. And Gooby, the Angels played very well against the Guardians at home. They swept a 4-game series, though here it's a difficult place to play.
Yeah, they have struggled here. They've even struggled against the Guardians at home, but they had a great series against them because they pitched extremely well and got some key hits at the right time. So hopefully that carries into a good game here tonight.
Two big-time superstars in the lineup, of course, for the Halos, and that's Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. It's been fun to watch them play.
Both are crushing the baseball right now, Patio. I mean, Mike Trout is on a stretch right now. I have not seen it. He's been an MVP 3 different times. 6 straight games with a home run for Mike Trout. 34 home runs. He's got the all-time record for so many categories. This is one that was special to him. When you look at his numbers against the Guardians in his career in this ballpark, 314 with 5 home runs. So looking to keep that streak going as far as home runs for Mike Trout, pulling the baseball, but also still going to center field. Shohei Ohtani, though, what a role he's on. After pitching 5 really good innings against the Astros, he went yard again yesterday. 34th home run on a very good breaking pitch down. Also doubled in the game. He's also a .316 career hitter against the Guardians with 7 career home runs. So both of these guys have had good numbers against Cleveland in their careers. Hopefully they need that against this offense for Cleveland.
I fully expect both these guys to hit the 40 mark, but here's teammates with 34-plus homers in a season. It's happened 3 times in Halo history.
Yeah, I mean, you got Gloss, Vaughn, Anderson, and Tim Salmon on that top part there with 4 of them, and then Trouty and Poles each with 40-plus home runs. But Trouty and Ohtani are swinging the bat well. They might have a few more in the series.
Let's see if 7 is the lucky number for Trout here tonight. But you're going to need some good pitching. And Detmers has been dominant. For more on that, we send it back to the studio in West L.A. with Ken French and Bobby Valentine.
MLB Tonight brings you more pennant chase coverage than anyone on MLB Network.
Where there's baseball,
one pitch away from
baseball history, there's drama.
He has thrown a no-hitter.
Where there's baseball,
near the wall,
there's action.
He made a phenomenal catch.
And where there's baseball,
let's go live inside the park.
There's MLB Tonight.
On MLB Network.
Oh, wow.
Where there's baseball all the time.
Unbelievable.
We've seen it time and time again.
Evan Longoria, a guy last year who was one of the catalysts to a surprising Giants team.
Meet Evan Longoria.
Two breaking balls of his that are outstanding and throwing them often and making sure that he shows everyone that high fastball and not worry about throwing changeups. It's not necessary against this squad. He has this slider that moves across and into right-handed hitters, and then he has a fastball that will move a little away from them, and if they see enough of the breaking balls, they'll be paralyzed like that by the fastball. And that's what he needs to do. It's not about establishing the fastball. It's about establishing the breaking ball, which is there, his curveball, which is one of the best curveballs in the league, so that he could get those late swings and those takes on his fastball when he's ahead in the count. We don't want him to get behind and be forced to throw fastballs in fastball counts. We want him to get ahead with the breaking balls so he could throw the fastballs when he's ahead.
And ever since coming back from AAA, he's been throwing that slider 24.4% of the time. The opponent batting average, how about 195? So we'll see a mix from Detmers as he looks to get the W and get the Angels back on track against the Cleveland Guardians, who are holding on to the top spot in the AL Central. On the other side, Patrick O'Neill, Mark Kubiza, Erica Weston.
The Sourdough Star is back at
Are you ready for some hot stuff?
Turning up the heat, yeah.
If you think the pennant chase is intense,
why would you sit there and get them all agitated? That's the last thing you want to do.
wait till you hear what the Mad Dog has to say. High Heat on MLB Network.
Every time he takes the field, he competes not only against the other team, but against the toughest adversary, himself. MLB Tonight, where the best outdo their best on MLB Network.
On a beautiful evening here in Cleveland, Ohio, Angels getting set to take on the Cleveland Guardians. How would you like to be one of those kids through the netting to have Shohei Ohtani sign your baseball?
Oh, that's so cool that Shohei's taking the time to sign these autographs for the kids.
And of course, Shohei is in the lineup hitting third. Here is the Angels batting order here in Cleveland, Ohio. Rengifo, Trout, Ohtani, followed by Ward, Duffy, and Ford. And it's Adele, Stassi, and Velasquez. Still no Fletcher in the lineup. Erica Weston will have an update on Fletch coming up on his 25th birthday. Konnor Pilkington is getting the start here tonight for the AL Central leading Guardians.
And Pilkington, fastball 91-95 with a changeup, slider, and curveball. My go-to is to be successful against him today and carry on for that 4-game sweep against the Guardians at home. A success that first time through. Batting average against him first time through is over 300. And you got to make sure you get some good attacks and good swings and hunt those fastballs against him. He'll throw quite a few of them. 63% of his pitches are fastballs.
And we are set and underway. First pitch swinging is Rengifo out towards right center. And Miles Straw has it for out number one.
Well, he was hunting first pitch fastball. Just missed it. real good numbers against left-handed pitching for Rengifo. 331, slugging at 567 versus lefties. Speaking of hitting lefties well, Mike Trout is crushing lefties this season.
First pitch was at 6:10 local time, and 6 o'clock. 6:10, I should say. 70 degrees is the temperature here in Cleveland. Really nice weather. So 6 straight games with a home run for this man, Mike Trout. It's an Angels franchise record.
90 career home runs for Trout in the first inning. It's a pretty good break on a curveball.
Pilkington ahead of Trout, 0-2. Ohtani on deck. It's great to be back here in Cleveland.
Yeah, it's been a while. Beautiful day here. Beautiful day in Cleveland.
Last time Trout was here, 2019. The 1-2. 2-2.
So back-to-back four-seam fastballs upstairs against Trout. Guessing along now, thinking curveball.
Full count.
Same thing when you look at Pilkington, what he's doing with the glove. He's moving around. At one point, obviously, he was tipping pitches, so that's why you try to do everything the same now, whether it's a breaking ball or fastball with moving the glove.
Foul back.
And Trout has been hitting fastballs of late. Let's take a look at our Frontier Play Sense in Houston. McCullers Jr. four-seamer upstairs, upper quadrant. Trout crushes it left center, way out left center. And then you got Urquidy trying to have fastball inside, and Trout covers that one also.
Ground ball to third. That's Tyler Freeman. And he gets Trout 2 down.
That was a changeup he threw. Boy, Trout is running real well. He got down the line quickly.
Here comes Shohei. 34 home runs to go with the 12 wins. And hearing that Ohtani is in line to make 4 more starts on the hill. And he really wants to qualify as a starting pitcher, needs 21 more innings. And with that extra start, you have to like his chances to get there.
By the way, Trout got down the line 30.3 feet per second. That is elite speed. 30.0 is elite speed going down to first.
It's like the young Mike Trout, and he would beat out those ground balls to shortstop. 2-0. In his 20 games, Mike Trout, since coming off the IL, and we could talk about it all night, is just unreal. That man is locked in, as is this guy at the plate. The 2-0. Pilkington being very careful. This lefty-lefty matchup.
I'm still thinking Shohei, because of his power and the way he's swinging the bat and his idea of the strike zone, swing away 3-0.
Well, didn't get a chance, really. Not one of those pitches close to the strike zone. 2-out walk. Let's take a look at the defense behind the rookie left-hander Pilkington here tonight. It's going to be Stephen Kwan and Miles Straw and Oscar Gonzalez from left field to right field. And third to first is Tyler Freeman, Ahmed Rosario, Andres Jimenez, and Owen Miller. And doing the catching for Pilkington is Austin Hedges.
And Rosario has been really, really good as shortstop since, when you go back even to 2018 for the Guardians. How successful he has been. 7th as far as fielding percentage amongst shortstops. Right ahead of him, the guy he was traded for, Francisco Lindor.
So here comes Taylor Ward, born in Dayton, Ohio, before moving, out to California for his sophomore year of high school. Has a 6-game hitting streak, 6-game road hitting streak as well. We mentioned that 4-game sweep, Angels over the Guardians. They really handled Cleveland really well. And this guy, Taylor Ward, and what a series he had. 7 for 16, 3 homers and 9 ribbies.
He's hitting fastballs really well this year too. 282 slugging .461 with 9 home runs versus fastballs. And he's going to see quite a few of them here.
Really not much wind to speak of right now, Gooby. I know you pitched here as well, but when the ball carries, what, right center?
Right center. Yep. Baseball will just fly out that way. You have to really cover it to go to left center here.
You have that huge wall in left field and the center field, about 19 feet to cover that. All right, another walk, back-to-back walks. It's going to give Matt Duffy an opportunity with a runner in scoring position and good speed, and Ohtani at second.
Pilkington, when you look at his walks to strikeout ratio, 41 strikeouts, 27 walks, though. That was coming in now at 50 innings, so 27 walks at 50 innings. So walks a part of the game now up to 29 of them.
Two on, two out for Matt Duffy. Takes strike one.
Hyundai key for the game today. Going a little Duran. Rock and Roll Hall of Fame out here in Cleveland. Hungry like the wolf. So you got to be hungry, be a wolf and hunt those fastballs here today against Pilkington.
One and one. You've had a chance, of course, to visit the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
It would be mandatory for me to do that. It was incredible.
Certainly could get lost in there for a day or two. A little trouble with the strike zone here. Top of the first. The Guardians coming off a road sweep over the Minnesota Twins. We have a makeup game on Thursday against the White Sox. You see Terry Francona on. What a legend he is. No, he's been dealing with a lot of health issues, but he's a guy you go to war with, is he not?
Yes. So well respected. As his team playing well, nobody was even counting them as far as a possibility to be in that equation as far as winning the division coming into the season. The Guardians have pitched well. They put the ball in play, caught the baseball.
They do not strike out. 2 on, 2 out, and the 2-2. They're the youngest team, as I mentioned. The question is how? How are they doing? A lot of people we've talked to, they did not expect them to be here. But what a learning experience for all these young players under Francona. They have 12 players that made their debut this season. 2.5 game lead. And then they have another series with the Twins over the weekend. Another doubleheader.
Big time arms in the outfield here. So base hit, you're going to be a huge secondary lead and go for Shohei Ohtani to be able to score from second.
Excellent battle here. Duffy and Pilkington.
Combined total of 23 outfield assists. The 3 outfielders here for the Guardians. Juan with 8, Straw with 12, Gonzalez with 3. This helps now on a 3-2 count now. Ohtani on the move. Same thing with Taylor Ward. Hedge is really solid defensively behind the plate. Jay Serra product, Orange County kid.
Yeah, good stop right there from what you have seen from Pilkington early, and perhaps what your eye test tells you. What do you think he's going to throw here? 3-2, runners on the move.
I'm still feeling he's got to go with his fastball. When you're up at that high a percentage, even though he threw Trout a changeup, I think a fastball here.
Now Duffy out towards right field, and Gonzalez has it. 2 men are stranded. Bottom of the first coming up.
Hi, I'm CC Sabathia. If Win Reality was around when I was pitching, I would have hated it. But my son Carson's a hitter, and I don't pitch anymore. So I love when reality.
Dad, the camera's over here.
Be ready for real. Win reality.
Here comes that rainy day feeling again. And soon my tears, they will be falling like rain. It always seems to be a Monday. Leftover memories of Sundays. Always spent with you before the clouds appeared.
Hi, we're Warby Parker, and we're all about making vision care convenient. That's why we developed the Virtual Vision Test app. Use it to renew your expired glasses or contacts prescription from home with your phone in about 10 minutes. If everything looks good, a doctor will renew your prescription for $15. It's as easy as reading the eye chart at a doctor's office, except you're at home, on your phone, like you probably are right now. Download Virtual Vision Test today.
Here in Cleveland, you see his last start versus the Astros, certainly not his best. He'd like that one back, but since coming off that little minor stint he had with AAA in the 9 starts, the 2.5 ERA's been outstanding.
Yeah, like his fastball velocity has picked up, his slider has been good, and slider velocity the same thing. My go-tos for Detmers have a big game here, got that extra day's rest, is control the upper and lower zone with his slider. 38 strikeouts with his slider this season, and work ahead all game long. When he's ahead of the count, 0-1, slugging a little over 300. When he's behind the count, though, 1-0, over 400.
First pitch to Stephen Kwan is in there for strike one. Did not get a chance to see Kwan in the 4 games back at the Big A. He was out with an injury.
There's a couple things you can always guarantee. He's going to make contact, and he's not going to swing at the first pitch.
That's exactly what just happened. Let's take you through this Guardians batting order. There's Kwan, then Rosario, Ramirez, Gonzalez, Miller, Jimenez, Freeman, Hedges, and Straw. 0-2. Really an outstanding rookie season for Stephen Kwan. Burst onto the scene. What a start.
Looks like he got him a chase on that one. Doesn't happen often.
How about that?
That's a pretty good indication how good that slider is. And that was an 89-mile-an-hour slider.
The velo on the slider is up. He is impossible to strike out, Stephen Kwan.
And early in the season, his average velocity on his slider is around 82, 83 miles an hour. That's an 89. You can see how tight that slider is. To get a swing and miss against Kwan is not an easy thing to do.
Well, that slider had to be working for him in the bullpen to start it off like that. First pitch to Rosario, misses. And the 1-0.
Very similar between the Guardians and the Angels as far as the top 3, 4 in their lineup is very, very dangerous. Some good numbers. Rosario so far this season, 62 hits versus breaking balls. He's a guy that hits the ball on the ground a lot, so as an infielder, you got to be ready. Ball on the ground a little over 53% of the time.
Was absolutely expecting a ground ball on that pitch after you set that up.
But the thing is with this Guardian team, and you're going to see a lot of pretty good changeups in this entire series from Angels starters. They hit off-speed pitches and changeups really well. Do you go away from your best pitch, especially when you look at Suarez tomorrow and then Sandoval? Do you go away from that changeup for a team that hits it, or do you just trust you're still going to get outs, maybe soft contact with it?
That's something we will definitely have to track. The 1-2. That's out towards left field. Adell has it. That drifted into him nicely. Well played. 2 down. So you see Adell out there in left. Let's take you through the rest of the Halos defense. Adell, there's Mike Trout and Taylor Ward. As far as the infield is concerned, Matt Duffy gets to start at third. Andrew Velasquez and Luis Renifo up the middle. Mike Ford over at first. And catching here tonight for Detmers is Max Stassi.
Mike Ford over at first base, making his 15th start. No errors so far. And he's the lonely man over there on the right side of the infield with Jose Ramirez, who pulls a lot of baseballs, whether he's in a righty or lefty.
22 games, including tonight, remaining for the Halos. So I guess, Gooby, what we just enjoy all these shifts while we can.
Yeah.
Not going to see them for long. Man, Jose Ramirez is such a talented baseball player, switch hitter. Absolutely the guy that, he's the straw. There's a mild straw, but he's the straw that stirs this Guardians drink by far. Out to left field, Joe Adell going over, using his speed, and handles it. Well played there. So good first for Reid Detmers and the Halos.
This is the planning effect. Nina's got a lot of ideas for the future. A lot of ideas. So when she wants a plan based on what matters most, she turns to Fidelity. At Fidelity, anyone can create a free plan. A plan that can change as your priorities do. And Nina's free plan, it leaves her free to focus on what's important right now. That's the planning effect from Fidelity.
Take control of your health by boosting your force field, the immune system. With the Aura Ring, you can listen to your body's signals and raise your defenses. Aura tells you when your temperature is higher than normal, how to improve your sleep, or if your heart rate shows signs of stress, so you can decide to push yourself or to lie low. Live smarter, stronger, healthier with the Aura Ring. Aura.
With the Game Time app, I paid 60% less than this guy. What? And it's not just sports tickets. It's also concerts. Performances, too!
Oh, come on!
Download Game Time. Last-minute tickets, lowest price, guaranteed.
%63 fastballs. Everything upstairs as far as fastballs. Downstairs, changeup at 23%, slider 8, curveball at 6. So as a hitter, elevation, tracking, it's all fastballs. Everything else, that lower third. So it gives you a chance to adjust your eyes on off speed and look for fastballs upstairs.
Mike Ford leading off second, no score. Alongside Mark Gubiza, Erica Weston with us on the field. Patrick O'Neill, great to be here with you. The final stretch of the season. Chance to play spoilers, let's face it. Guardians 2.5 game lead in the Central. Going to hold off the White Sox and the Twins.
So you're saying it's the final countdown?
It sure is.
Remember back in the day seeing Europe, they were here hanging out at the hotel we were staying out here in Cleveland back a long time. That was one of my favorite songs. And they're right next to me hanging out at the hotel here in Cleveland.
If only I had said the final countdown.
You missed it by that much.
Pilkington ahead of Ford 1-2. This ballpark is going to get a little bit of a renovation in the offseason. I know they would love a roof. Great sight lines here. Poked out towards right field, and Gonzalez takes care of Ford, 1 down. And we talk about, you know, a view of the city, right? Skylines like PNC Park is one of the absolute best, but you love this look here.
This is a great view we have from our booth. Our vantage point from our booth is fantastic, this sight line. Beautiful day like today. Love it here. When it's sunny like this.
Yes. I know that the weather is breaking back home in Southern California, and everyone hopefully got through that heat wave. There's Joe Adell. Really thought that I know I was listening to you and Maddie and Erica have the call in Houston yesterday with a 3-0 lead. I'm like, man, they're going to win this series. And that Houston Astros team, man, they come on. Put up 12.
Yeah, they had that home run ball working yesterday. With 5 of them in the game. Baseball was flying up to right field, right center. You know how short those Crawford boxes are too. And that one home run that Tucker Davidson gave up was just a 2% hit probability. Yet it was a home run. Really, it was against Dubon, just the left center, and everybody thought it was going to be down and it'd be a home run.
And like Kyle Tucker made a key catch in that game. It was early, and then that double by Ohtani. Had that been a triple and not a ground rule double, that would have been an add-on run for sure. That's a strikeout for Adell. 2 down.
Another one of his fastballs. It's going to be upstairs. Very rarely you see Pilkington throw a fastball lower third. It's upper third.
Well, he picks up a strikeout on his birthday. Now Stassi takes strike 1.
He is straight over the top with his delivery. You would think as a batter you got a pretty good chance of seeing that baseball pretty well out of his hand. That's a good hack by Stassi on that one. Maybe we'll talk about it tomorrow with Jose Suarez, how he hides that baseball, that back hip he has. That creates that deception. Pilkington, he doesn't quite have the deception. He has the leverage working downhill. Long stride from the pitching rubber, but Suarez hides the baseball very, very well, and he's on a great roll himself.
Here's the 1-2. What a trio of lefties the Angels are throwing at the Guardians in this series with Detmers, Suarez, and Sandoval.
And they've all been great for quite a long periods of time, between 7 to 9 starts apiece.
And a swing and a miss. And Stassi goes down on strikes. A 1-2-3 second for Pilkington.
Baseball's biggest moments are live on MLB Big Inning. MLB.tv's nightly show takes you from game to game for all the grand slams, no-hitters, walk-offs, and more as they happen.
Wow, he can do it all!
Don't miss the ultimate baseball highlight reel.
This is some kind of awesome.
After your game ends, the action's just heating up on MLB Big Inning. Every night on MLB.tv.
If you think they're excited, you ain't heard nothing yet.
Be quiet, win ball games, then I'll shut up.
High Heat with Christopher Russo, only on MLB Network.
this series. He was absent yesterday. His hand is still quite sore after being hit by that pitch in the first inning of Saturday's game. Right now, the concern for him is the fact that he's having trouble gripping the bat without feeling any pain. There was some swelling that he was dealing with, too. Again, it's just a contusion. The x-rays did come back negative on Fletch. He says he does feel it a little bit on his hand with the glove on defense, but right now the concern is just making sure he's pain-free with the bat. Probably would have affected him tonight, taking 4 or 5 at-bats, but guys, they're hopeful he'll feel better enough tomorrow to play a full game.
Okay, that's good news. Erica, also, what about Anthony Rendon? We saw him taking BP, and I know he's got that 5-game suspension. Is there a chance he's going to come back this season?
There is definitely a chance. He took BP on the field for the first time today since that wrist surgery. He had been hitting inside in the cages. There's a look at Rendon earlier today here in Cleveland. Now, they haven't formally discussed this about his return to be able to serve that suspension before the end of the year. For now, he's just trying to focus on feeling good out there, being in the flow of things, feeling healthy, having the confidence heading into the offseason that all the baseball things, as far as baseball activity, all that feels normal. But he is trending in that direction. It is a possibility, but they haven't formally addressed it. Okay,
Erica, thanks very much. Good to see Anthony with that smile on his face. Gooby, you had a quick little interaction with him. And you got to prove, right, to MLB that this isn't some gimmick to serve the 5-game suspension. He looks like the Anthony Rendon of old.
I really like what I saw in his batting practice.
And, that gets off the glove of Velasquez. You don't see that often. Not an easy play on that backhand after the hit batter to Gonzalez. Owen Miller is aboard. See how they score that.
That ball was hit hard enough. You have a shot potentially at a double play. It ends up being a hit. It's a tough one-hop, especially early in the game. They water down that infield dirt, so it's going to be a little bit different. And you're going to see as the game progresses. Tried the backhand to make the quick throw to second. Ends up being first and second here now. Going back to Anthony Rendon, I watched him during batting practice. He was letting the baseball travel deep. And that's why you saw all those hits he was hitting was right field, right center. It allowed him to read the pitches, trust his hands. And that's obviously the big thing with his wrist. Trust those hands and wrists to be able to hit the ball the other way. Look really, really comfortable.
Andres Jimenez is the batter. Takes a strike. I would guess that Anthony Rendon, when the team gets back home, would eventually go out on a rehab and then come back, prove that he's able to go, serve the suspension, maybe play the last week of the season.
And there's not many more games down as far as minor league baseball, too, so that limits the amount. Maybe a lot of it in simulated games.
Good point.
It's a tough batter here for Reid Detmers right now. Jimenez is a guy that hits very, very well against non-fastballs. 348, 321 versus breaking pitches. Well, when you have a slider working like that, it's like he was able to get Quan to chase a slider. That one is a nasty one.
Would love a strikeout and then a ground ball double play to get out of this. There's the 0-2.
So you got a guy that hits breaking balls well and a pitcher on the mound who's been throwing his slider exceptionally well. The whiff percentage just under 26%. There's 38 strikeouts with strikeout tonight, 39 with his slider.
Well, there's the ground ball. That time the backhand over to Rengifo for one. Safe at first. Jimenez beat it out. Thought they would have a good chance at a double play.
Quite as smooth as you always see with Velasquez. Tried to get quick on the backhand, but he was able to beat it out. Jimenez, how quick he is.
It looked like he got a lot on that throw to second.
And I think it was all because of the handle and the grip of the baseball out of the glove.
Yeah. Detmers wanted it. We all thought that was going to be a double play, but instead just one out and runners at the corners for Tyler Freeman.
And this is a team that runs a lot. 92 stolen bases, is caught 23 times. Jimenez, 18 stolen bases, caught 3 times. So far, Reid Detmers has him leaning back to first, though.
A local lad, Freeman is, Etiwanda High School, 2nd-round pick. The Guardians in 2017.
Wow, where's that pitch at?
Do not know.
See how good his slider has been. When you look at the average velocity all the way up to June, just under 83 miles per hour. Since that point, though, at 87. Chase percentage up considerably, and ground ball percentage up to 58%.
Well, with that strike, that was not called. I want to point out that's Ron Culpa, home plate umpire. Perhaps later, mea culpa. Freeman has been on a tear in his last 12 games. Very effective at the plate. .21 for 48 in the last 12. Little flare out into the stands. Count's going to be 2-2.
What a good pitch that was. Raining on his hands. Now he's got a shot to get a swing and miss on a slider down and in. He established a fastball in on his hands. He start that slider that same plane and get a chase.
Check on Jimenez. He will run. 18 stolen bases. Gonzalez at third. Jimenez at first. No score, bottom of the second, and we've got a malfunction with the first base glove. Well, that gives us a time to chat. Well, he's got a backup. Always be prepared. Perhaps that's somebody else's glove. What do you think? Who was it? Which pitcher was it that was? It was Tucker Davidson that was using Suarez's glove. Sandoval, yeah, that's right.
That's because the stringing of it.
Oh, it gets passed forward. He needed the other glove. That's going to be an RBI single to play at third. Not in time. Throw gets away, but that's going to allow Freeman to advance to second. 1-0 Guardians. They strike first.
An odd inning so far. That's a breaking ball just upstairs. This goes inside out on that slider. A few things go Reid Detmers' way. He's already in the dugout.
Instead, Austin Hedges with 2 runners in scoring position and only 1 out.
It's more of a safety squeeze on that one. Difference between the suicide squeeze. Suicide squeeze, you're going. Safety squeeze, you're making sure the baseball is put down on the ground before you start to run from third base.
Taylor Ward was charged with an error that allowed Freeman to get to second base. Driven towards left field, hit pretty well. Joe Adell's not going to be able to get that. That's going to bounce off the wall, and that's going to score another couple of runs. And that's going to be a 2 RBI double for Austin Hedges, and it's 3-0 early here in Cleveland.
Slider was the middle part of the inside corner, and he turns on it. Give him now 28 RBIs. This is 4th double.
And if you go back and just, take a look at the inning, Matt Wise just paid a visit with Detmers, who has to be feeling some frustration. Hit batter. The Owen Miller single off the glove of Velasquez. Fielder's choice by Jimenez. That could have been a double play, perhaps. Freeman's ball didn't hit well to right field, but just get passed forward. Instead of a 0, 3 are in. Miles Straw, the number 9 hitter. He has been struggling at the plate all season. But he did go 3 for 4 yesterday.
And you're seeing him going with fastballs. He has struggled versus fastballs this entire season. So 210 batting averages, slugging is 259 versus fastballs. So back-to-back fastballs from Reid Detmers.
Straw has been hitting .294 the month of September. He hit .093 in August. Certainly want to stop the bleeding right here.
Just got to trust your offense. See if you can just stop this momentum going for the Guardians.
Reid Detmers ahead of Miles Straw. 1-2. 2-2. Count runs full. Three 0 Cleveland. All 3 runs here in this second inning against Detmers. 3-2. Duffy has it. Throws across and gets Straw to end the inning, but well, that's only 2 down. Apologies. It's more hopeful, I suppose. It's because there should have been an out earlier. I know it. Stephen Kwan now the batter. Los Gatos, Northern California. Struck out his first time up.
See if he keeps that continued pattern as far as not swinging at the first pitch. Is 8.5% of the time he'll swing at the first one.
When it comes to Major League Baseball rookie hits leaders, Stephen Kwan atop the list. 136 ahead of J-Rod, Julio Rodriguez, and Bobby Witt Jr.
After his 12 pitches in the first inning for Reid Detmers, already at 24 here in this inning.
Now back 2-2.
But to strike him out with a slider, try to get him to chase a curveball. Barely made contact with it. Very high contact percentage. Really, when you think of Kwan and Fletcher, 2 of the best as far as making contact.
2-2. And that's going to get through. That's going to be a hit. Austin Hedges is being sent. Adele comes up with it. The throw to the plate is, well, it was in time, but unable to make the catch at the plate is Stassi on the bounce. Hedges scores. Another one comes in. 4-0 Cleveland. That was a good throw. Tough short hop. Kwon gets all the way to second base.
Nice job as far as getting behind that throw and right on the money. Never really had control of the baseball in the glove. Max Stassi trying to get that short hop and still put himself in position to apply a tag. See right there, they didn't quite get it in the glove.
Strike one to Rosario. You knew Kwon was going to put it in play. Stassi has to create that clear path for the base runner. Nonetheless, 4-0. Guardians, the Guards, an early lead.
You back since 2015, the Halos here in this yard is 1-17. And it's going to be the offense that gets them back into this game.
A real tough inning here for Detmers. Falls behind. Rosario 3-1. Now back full count.
Look at this Guardians team. Not a lot of power. Outside of Jose Ramirez. They're hitting 250. He put the ball in play. On base percentage of .312. So this Guardian team will press you on the defensive side.
There's a swing and a miss and a strikeout, and that will end the inning. The 4 runs come in. I'll charge the Detmers.
MLB Big Inning brings you the biggest plays of the night, live as they happen. Don't miss the ultimate baseball highlight reel. It's nonstop action on MLB Big Inning, every night on MLB.tv.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jackie Robinson, 13 home runs into the left field stands.
Here comes Roger Maris. There's a new home run champion of all time. I don't believe what I just saw. Cal Ripken Jr. has reached the unreachable star.
This crowd on its feet and in unison.
This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza! The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Welcome to the first night of MLB Network.
Number 600 for Jim Thome. That ball is gone.
106. That would be a new record.
It is caught. Oh, what a catch by Mike Trout. The Cubs have finally won it all. The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
Show driven by SoCal Honda dealers. Visit angels.com/promotions for more details. We noticed a lot of Halo fans here at Progressive Field, down by their dugout, trying to get some autographs. Some lucky fans picking up some Ohtani and some Trouts. Really interesting, this changed from Andrew Velasquez, the switch hitter. But of course, you're facing a lefty. He'll hit from the right side, but to see him hitting against righties now, particularly from this side of the plate. Ground ball to shortstop. Rosario takes care of Velasquez for the first out of the third.
Well, you love to see the offense respond to get right back, because that 4 spot that the Guardians put up, especially the way they pitch, makes it difficult. But you respond right back in there, you feel you're part of the game. Try not to allow him to put up a 0 here. And Hefo, followed by Trout. Sounds like an opportunity to score.
Renifo with the 8-game hitting streak. Led off the game. Fly ball out to center field. Pilkington, just his 9th start with the Guardians, 25 years old today, 10th career start. Mississippi State alum. Center field straight away. Miles Straw going back. He plays a good center field, 2 down. Players that have hit homers in 7 straight games, and that's what Mike Trout is trying to accomplish. We saw Joey Votto do it. Kendrys Morales closing in on a Major League Baseball record, right, of 8. 6 straight games. Barry Bonds at 04. One of the greats, Jim Thome. What a tremendous Hall of Fame career he had with Cleveland.
Boy, did he have great power the other way. I often think of a power hitter like him, pull power, but he had great power to center, to left center. Not easy to go the other way in this ballpark as a left-handed batter.
This is game number 100 on the season for Mike Trout. Thome, by the way, one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. Gosh, is he a good guy. When you get on a heater like this that Mike's on, 6 straight games, I know day off yesterday for him. How much do you think he's thinking about keeping this going? You didn't want to try to hit homers.
Well, all the conversations we've had with him of late, how happy he is, not only the way he's swinging the bat, but the way the team has been playing of late. You know, yesterday was a tough one, although it started out very well. But overall, the team has been playing much, much better baseball, and he has been crushing the ball. In particular, remember early in the season, a lot of clubs were throwing fastballs at him, but he's been squaring them up very well.
34 homers. It's a home run every 10.62 at bats on the season. It's pretty good.
Got him hit the last at bat on a 3-2 pitch, a changeup. Hit it hard to third. Freeman, but it was a changeup. Try to get him to go after another changeup on that one. Wow. That's when you're going good. See if he comes back with a 3-2 changeup again. Ooh, they get a good swing at a 3-2 fastball. He forced him to bring that one down because that pitch was not called a strike. So he brought it down in the zone. Trout had a good hack at it.
10 homers the last 16 games for Trout. The 3-2. That's popped up. Owen Miller. He has it. And Pilkington is through 3 scoreless here at Progressive Field.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network. From inside jokes,
Hey, look, it's Mike Napafanakis,
to insiders' perspectives,
I like over 5.5 strikeouts on Walker Buehler.
your best bet is the pregame spread. Served up only on MLB Network.
Not getting it. It's been flat, a lot more of the strike zone and upstairs, allowing the hitter to track it well and make some contact. 3 hits off his slider today, coming in as the 195 batting average versus his slider. So it's flat sliders for him today, which is unusual. Nearly 40% four-seamer and slider today. Reid Detmers coming into the game 29%. 45% fastball usage.
What a player, Jose Ramirez, the 1-1. Takes a strike.
Just looking at his numbers this year for Ramirez, 285 versus fastballs, 270 versus breaking balls, 278 versus off speed. Very, very consistent on all pitches thrown to him.
Most hits in the American League, off-speed pitches. Jose Ramirez, top of the list with 35. It's career year. There's still 20-plus games. And he has 109 runs driven in.
Leads baseball with 40 doubles. At least the American League, I should say, 40 doubles. So he wants to try a fastball up.
Well, launch angle is one thing that Jose Ramirez has been working on this year and just got under that. And first out here, the 3rd. Among the American League's best sluggers, Ohtani and Jose Ramirez. And I'll tell you what, Gooby, these numbers were so surprising to see that Ohtani had a better slugging percentage. OPS nearly identical. More home runs for Shohei. Better WAR for Ramirez as a hitter. But, man, that's a great comparison.
Yeah, I mean, both are designated hitters here tonight. Usually you see Ramirez at third base, but just really, really good hitters with good approaches and ideas at the plate. Sets up hitters really, really well. Both of them do. Setting up the pitchers exactly where they want to see the baseball thrown to them. And Ohtani, too, when you look at his numbers versus breaking pitches, are high. Takes away one of those pitches where you normally would see success against a batter. A breaking ball, whether it's a slider or curveball, both hit those well.
Well, this is where all the trouble started in the second. Oscar Gonzalez was hit on the foot to lead it off. Ended up coming around to score one of the 4 runs.
Another young talent coming through the system.
Just fouled 2-2.
Slugging at .464 for the youngster. With 31 extra base hits.
Ground repair for Detmers. Would love a shutdown inning here in the third.
A pretty good hack at a fastball there. As Reid Detmers' career progresses, when you see a swing like that, that tells you something as a pitcher. Now, if you can throw something slow, whether it's a slow curveball or especially a changeup, it should work well.
Reaching for it. Duffy has it on a couple of hops. And 2 down. Our Kia player profile on Reid Detmers will illustrate just how good breaking pitches have been for Reid. Ranks among American League starters, minimum 700 thrown. That's pretty good. That's getting it done.
Between his curveball and slider. So you have those slider and curveball, similar break as far as that part of the plate, and then the changeup. That was a really good changeup. He threw to Gonzalez, got him out in front, soft contact on the ground. That pitch should be effective because that's going to be, mainly it's going to be outside part of the plate to a right-handed batter. So when you have both breaking balls, for the most part, are going to be inside or down. So now you have both sides of the plate, the lower third covered with all speed or secondary pitches.
And 2 down. There's Owen Miller. 1 for 1 with that single that got off the glove of Velasquez. And Velasquez should be able to handle this. And that's exactly what Detmers needed. Let's see if his offense can pick him up, scratch a couple across as we head to the fourth.
Baseball's biggest moments are live on MLB Big Inning. MLB.tv's nightly show takes you from game to game for all the grand slams, no-hitters, walk-offs, and more as they happen.
Wow, he can do it all!
Don't miss the ultimate baseball highlight reel.
This is some kind of awesome.
After your game ends, the action's just heating up on MLB Big Inning. Every night on MLB.tv.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network.
Good Shohei Ohtani has been on both sides of the ball. You look at the OPS plus as a hitter and with the ERA, with 100 being league average. Insane. Konnor Pilkington here in the fourth. Konnor with a K. Middle name Chase.
That's a good name for a pitcher.
25th birthday today, and he gets Ohtani to pop it up. You can hear Stephen Kwan call it from here. He has it, and that's the first out of the fourth.
Pretty good when you're on your birthday, you get Trout and then Ohtani to pop up against you.
Yeah, it doesn't really get any better, does it? Here's Taylor Ward. He walked his first time up. That's one thing that has been a problem for Pilkington in his young career, is he will walk guys. First pitch strike only 53%, below league average.
So far in this game, Pilkington with 6 outs in the air, 2 on the ground, and 2 strikeouts.
Taylor Ward's first ever game here against the Cleveland Guardians in Cleveland. Taylor, as I mentioned, born in Dayton, Ohio, but the Ward family clan won't actually admit to whether or not they grew up fans of the Cleveland Guardians. Back then, the Cleveland Indians. You had a lot of success at the old yard. Is that the mistake by the lake? Is that what that was?
Not for me, it wasn't. It was perfection by the lake.
Love it. The 2-2. Foul back. Taylor Ward here in September. This is going to be a big month for him going into the offseason. He'll play a full 162. I know he was injured, but going into 2023 to try to lock down that right field, to go in with that plan that he's your guy. And that's a walk.
Already 2 walks in the game for Taylor Ward.
Well, with the walk, let's give you a quick word from Hyundai.
It's your journey. Own it in the Hyundai Santa Fe.
Duffy 0 for 1 and drives one left field. That ball's hit well. That ball is gone. Homer for Matt Duffy. Grows up an Angels fan and just hits his first homer as an Angel.
And just like that, right back in the game. Matt Duffy crushes that left center. Never easy to get it out to that part of the ballpark. Got a fastball, didn't miss it. All of a sudden, lead cut in half. Matt Duffy first has a halo and a smile. Doesn't see that too often. Always got that game face going, but a smile for Duffy. He's like, there it is. I get to see the cowboy hat.
He's like, so this is what it feels like. Oh yeah, there's this. There is. That's that little vibe going on with the.
There it is. You get the high fives down to the bullpen.
Love it. Oh, that's great.
He's like, you know, I've been waiting to try to do that.
Way to go. I think he's gonna wear it for a bit. He's talked about going to the World Series in 2002. Sitting there for Game 6. He might have said Game 2, but let's just give him Game 6. and he hits it. I mean, talking about Lakewood, Long Beach State.
He's not giving up that cowboy hat, by the way.
That's great. And more importantly, we got ourselves a game. The 1-2 to Ford, off the plate, 2-2.
That's great to see him smile.
He barreled that up. 384 feet. That's a 19-foot fence. I don't know if we can call it a fence. Let's just go with like a little mini monster.
Fastball had a little cut action to right into his swing path. That Duffy lifts it out. Stayed down on it. It's a pretty good launch angle. And the high five to the bullpens.
Strikeout to Ford. Two down.
That walk, an important walk by Taylor Ward, followed by a 2-run home run. Matt Duffy.
167 homers on the season for the Halos. Joe Adell's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Another guy who this final month of the season really wants to try to impress the coaches, the management. With Moniak back and healthy, pushing for playing time. Softly hit, covered by Rosario, and he gets him. But Matt Duffy cuts this lead by the Guardians in half. Oh, what a swing. That's a beauty. And for him, an Angels fan growing up, his first as a Halo.
With Home Chef, your home cooking is home nailing it. Our classic all-in-one meal kits are simple enough for anyone and delicious enough for everyone. When it comes to making dinner, fill in the blanks with Home Chef. Delicious, meat simple.
Get 16 free meals when you sign up at homechef.com.
Here comes that rainy day feeling again. And soon my tears, they will be falling like rain. It always seems to be a Monday, leftover memories of Sunday, always spent with you before the clouds appeared.
Put the Angels on the board with his first home run of the season. First as an Angel, it's 4-2, and that has to pick up, you know, the energy and the vibe for Reid Detmers. Whole new game. Put up another 0. Just that second inning, 4 runs for the Guardians. Andres Jimenez, who was a big part of that Francisco Lindor trade, the huge part, the centerpiece, has just seen his batting average fall below 300. Now at 298, 16th homer yesterday, win over the Twins.
We talked about how good he is on breaking balls and off speed. His count usually means an off speed pitch.
There is something to it, right? If you're the starting pitcher and you get a couple runs from, you know, you have to get a little bit of a lift.
Oh, definitely. These are the ones you grow as a pitcher. Because you're not getting, I mean, there's going to be games where you're dealing, you're giving up 1 or no runs and you win the game, which is great. But it's the ways that you find, I mean, to find ways to win when you give up 3 or 4 runs. That's when you gain all the respect from the guys, the everyday players. That's when the respect is earned. If you find a way to be out there in that 6th or 7th inning, and you look up, then your offense gives you the lead eventually. And a good swing from Matt Duffy gets you feeling that way on the mound, and you have 8-9-1 to get a base run. You got Trout up, followed by Ohtani. You can get that lead in the game, but you just got to put a 0 up now.
Soft contact for Rengifo. Quick throw. Second baseman retires the second baseman of the Guardians. 1 away.
And when you see, here's the Reid Detmers, when his breaking pitches are on, it's between his curveball and slider, that same arm slot, but a different break. More of a, the horizontal break on the sliders compared to the vertical. The drop on the curveballs compared to his slider. They're very, very similar as far as out of the hand, but the break at the plate, same plane as far as inside corner, but one goes straight down, the other has that more of that side break to it, and that's why they're so effective. That's why I still think going forward, the changeup going the other way makes those two even better. But that's a great illustration. Great job by our guys, the girls back at the truck, working hard back in the studio just to be able to give us that look.
Popped up. Ford seems to have a play on it. Drifting over. Unable to get there. Just off the netting. Not 100% sure if he had a play on it before it hit the net. Couldn't get there. Counts 0-2. Next time, just dive right into the netting if possible.
Oh, yeah.
Bounce right back in. He might go right through it.
So back-to-back batters for Reid Detmers. He's energized by those 2 runs off the bat. Matt Duffy's back-to-back 0-2 counts. Pace good.
0-2 to Freeman. Just missed. Freeman from Rancho Cucamonga. Low to the Freeman watch party back home. Boys got an RBI single already. Lifts that one out to the outfield. Now who's going to call it? Center fielder Mike Trout has good communication. Taylor Ward peels off. He's the guy. Let him have it.
Saying, you know what? When I call it, just go behind me.
Yes, sir. Brings up Austin Hedges. That was a big 2-run double for Hedges.
You saw Moniak out in center and Taylor Ward yesterday. It's because they're not all that familiar with those two playing in those positions together at the same time, and communication a little bit slower than you see with Trout and Taylor Ward. Early on, you saw the same thing when Taylor was first playing in right field. He was going after everything. So then finally the discussion those two had together, and Trout is the center fielder, the quarterback of the outfield defense, making the calls early.
Game 100 for Mike Trout this season. I think the way he has played center field this year is some of the best defense he's had in quite some time.
Definitely. When you talk about improvements since about 2018, all those numbers much better for Trout. I think he's happy about playing center field here as compared to Minute Maid Park. That was in bad shape after the Bad Bunny concert. Lady Gaga playing there now also, coming up in the next day or so.
Really was a Bad Bunny, wasn't it? Did you work that into the key to the game by any chance, or no?
No, he was a Bad Bunny, so I couldn't put it in there.
6 in a row retired for Detmers. Hedges fouls it back. Two Guardians here, bottom of the fourth. 2 outs. And due up, as you mentioned, 8-9-1. Get a couple on, turn it over for Trout and Ohtani. 2-2 pitch. And swing and a miss. Detmers starting to lock it in. Strikes out. Hedges. Halos coming up, down 4-2.
The search for high-quality meat ends here. With ButcherBox, you get 100% grass-fed beef, organic free-range chicken, humanely raised pork, wild-caught seafood, and so much more. Sourced from partners who believe in doing things the right way. Together, we can make a difference, one meal at a time. Sign up today at butcherbox.com for a special offer.
Nice. What? With the Game Time app, I pay 60% less than this guy. 60%? Game Time finds you the best last-minute deals and guarantees the lowest price. Download Game Time now. Nice shirt.
Want more hits? Train and win reality. Improve timing, pitch recognition, attack rate, and get more hits. Hitters love it, but pitchers...
I'm glad I'm retired.
Be ready for real. Win reality.
Join us at the Big A during every Angels home game in 2023 with season seats. For more info on becoming a season seat holder, call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/season seats. The Angels will, of course, open the season up in Oakland. By now, I think it's just some sort of
automatic
cruel joke. They're all giggling back there when they make the schedule, but they'll open the home part of the calendar versus Toronto, and they're going to be playing all 15 National League clubs. You've got 46 total interleague games. It's so great for baseball.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Speaking of Toronto, they're playing Tampa up in Toronto. What a matchup that is.
By the way, the skyline and the color right now in the sky is spectacular. 1-1 to Stassi. Just off the plate, 2-1. Sorry, sir, you were saying? I interrupted.
No, just said Tampa and Toronto with a big series up in Toronto. Tampa with an early 1-0 lead.
That's hit well towards right field over the head of Gonzalez. So Stassi is going to hustle into second base, and he's in there with a leadoff double.
Now that's a swing you want to see from Max Stassi. On the line, other way. Good power. Gonzalez off the bat thought he had a shot at it. He realized how hard that baseball was hit. Gets over his head for a double. Just under 106 miles per hour exit velocities at one hit, one hops the wall. The 11th double for Stassi.
Considering the score, time of game, how important is it for Velasquez to get Stassi to third here?
Got to find a way to get him. It's a baseball play. You love to see a base hit get him home, but at the very least you want Stassi over third base for Rengifo, especially hitting from the right side where Rengifo has crushed a baseball.
Freeman and Miller playing necessarily in, back on the dirt. Gets the call there, 1-1. Nine homers, career high for Velasquez. There's the bunt, but he popped it up right to the pitcher. Pilkington has it, 1 down. And starting out for the 3rd time through here for Pilkington, and you look at the batting average allowed by times through the batting order: 314 the first, 222 in the second, and 391. And you have the top of the order with 1 down and Rengifo, followed by Trout and Ohtani.
Might see with their bullpen start moving. Probably they're looking to try to get 5 innings out of them. Keep around 90 pitches or so.
Up the middle and playable. Menez gets Rengifo, and so now 2 down. Stassi at third base. When you have 2 outs, you got to deal with Trout, followed by Ohtani.
It's exactly the scenario we were talking about at that top or the bottom of the 4th. Reid Detmers get through that inning, and then you have an opportunity with Trout coming to the plate to tie the game up. Well, that scenario has come about right now with Trout, with Stassi at third. Shohei waiting. See if he gets a chance to swing the bat in this inning also.
Driven to center field. Mike Trout hit it well. Looking to tie this up. He does. 7 straight games with a home run for the kid, Mike Trout. 4-4 here in Cleveland.
That scenario worked perfectly. Trout, 7 in a row games for the home run. 35th home run of the year. Mike Trout, red hot. Fly baseball fly. Mike Trout.
Nicely done. Now giddy up. 4-4, 7 games in a row for the 3-time MVP with a home run, adding on to the Angels franchise record. Give it up to the bullpen. And I tell you what, Mike Trout is the hottest hitter in the game right now. Ohtani, that is a missile to center field, but right to the center fielder, Miles Straw. The kid. I mean, come on. Number 27, Goop.
Another fastball. 3 straight games. Fastballs crushed for Trout. Tie ball game at 4.
Here comes Roger Marin. There's a new home run champion of all time. I don't believe what I just saw. Cal Ripken Jr. has reached the unreachable star. The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Welcome to the first night of MLB Network.
That ball is gone. It is caught. Oh, what a catch by Trout. The Cubs have finally won it all. The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network.
Home run in 7 straight games, and the Major League Baseball record is held by the great Don Mattingly, Dale Long, and Ken Griffey Jr. And he could tie that mark tomorrow night. Unbelievable. First pitch, ground ball. Mile straw thrown out by Velasquez. 1 down.
By the way, that was 106.7 miles per hour exit velocity for Trout, going 422. By the way, Shohei's baseball off the bat was nearly 108 miles per hour exit velocity. So it was back-to-back swings by these two. But Trout ties it up at 4. 35th home run of the season.
These two just keep pushing each other, Trout and Ohtani, for the home run lead. And that is second in the American League, the 35 for Trout in game 100. I mean, 35 homers in 100 games. Can't tell me that he would not hit 50 if he was healthy and playing a full 162.
How many games left?
21 after tonight. I don't know if he's going to get 16 in 21. We'll pencil him in for 40. Both of them. Oh, does not get the call.
That's right on the lower part of the strike zone.
That's the respect that the rookie Stephen Kwan must be getting at the plate. Soft contact over to Rengifo. And we have 2 away. Don't look now, but Detmers is starting to get a little feel. That second inning, there was frustration. I know it was 4 runs, but necessarily, and all earned, could have gone a lot differently.
Doesn't matter for Reid Detmers and the Angels right now. All that matters is what he does from this point forward with the score tied at 4. It's 0-0 in his mind right now into the 5th inning.
2 down. Ahmed Rosario is the batter for the Guards. Takes strike 1. Let's see, Morgan is up. Expect that could be it for Pilkington. Driven towards left field. Joe Adell going back. That baseball is off the wall. Well played by Adell. The throw to second's a good one. Is it in time? Just safe.
I think they might take a look at that one.
What a strike by Adell.
2 good throws in this game for Joe.
Looking at it live, thought that he beat it. They're going to let that play on. No challenge.
Wait, great release, and right on the base. Just barely got his foot in, and Rengifo pointed in quickly. I think that foot just before the tag. Now you got a tough spot here.
Yeah, in Jose Ramirez.
Yeah.
No doubt. And when you're talking about the final MVP race, we know there's going to be 2 for sure that are going to be the top 2, either Judge or Ohtani. And this guy's going to get that bronze medal, Jose Ramirez. Phil Nevin and the Angels going to take their chances with the young Oscar Gonzalez.
Very, very good hitter himself. For me right now, if you read Detmers, I don't throw him a first pitch strike. I let him get himself out with a non-strike because he's going to be up there thinking, I'll make you pay for that.
He was on the slider, pulls it foul, 0-1. Halfway through this ball game, tied at 4. Great to have you here with us with Kubas, Erica West, and Patrick O'Neill, a Bally Sports crew. We got a good one.
Good changeup.
Hasn't thrown it a lot. Going in, we know how well the Guardians have mashed changeups. gets ahead of Gonzalez. 1-2 with the pitch. Ground ball. Duffy coming in and tags the runner. Just smart heads up baseball. We remain tied at 4 to the 6th.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jackie Robinson searching home run into the left field stands.
Here comes Roger Maris. There's a new home run champion of all time. I don't believe what I just saw.
Cal Ripken Jr. has reached the unreachable star.
This crowd on its feet and in unison.
This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza! The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Welcome to the first night of MLB Network.
Number 600 for Jim Thome. That ball is gone. 106. That would be a new record. It is caught. Oh, what a catch by Mike Trout. The Cubs have finally won it all. The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
To save up to 40%, go to SpectrumMobile.com today. By the OC Healthcare Agency. Build your healthiest self at angels.ocnavigator.org. And by Hyundai Epic Adventures. It's your journey, own every mile in a brand new Hyundai. The hot dog race in the books. Let's go down to Erica Weston with Taylor Ward coming up.
Yeah, local guy, right from Dayton, Ohio. You would think maybe he had some, they would have been the Indians at that time that he was paying attention to him. No, he didn't follow teams necessarily when he was growing up. He also wasn't here in the state of Ohio for too long. It was players that he was following, guys. And the number one guy that he kept his eye on was one Robinson Cano, not of Cleveland.
Don't you know? Robinson Cano.
Thank you, Erica, for that. Taylor Ward will he'll lock you in that conversation. One of the greats. Shout out to the 2177 bar down there in Orlando. The fandom, they got the Gooby t-shirts going. New pitcher Eli Morgan, and a whole new ball game tied at 4.
That could have easily been all 4 pitches out of the strike zone. Already a couple walks. Taylor Ward today.
Is the 3rd time the charm? It is. 3 walks. Leadoff walk at a tie game.
Doing more walking than the mailman right now.
Well, so here comes Matt Duffy, who homered his first time as an Angel back in the 4th. 2-run job to cut that Guardians lead to 4-2 before Trout tied it up.
Morgan's fastball is 88-94, throw a curveball, slider, and a changeup.
Let's get to our Arco top tier play, and we're going to look at Matt Duffy's 4th inning 2-run homer.
101 miles per hour exit velocity, launch angle 31 degrees. Usually equates to a home run, and that was his first home run. Yes, high five to everyone, including the bullpen and grab that cowboy hat for the first time and keep it on for a while.
Like he had to go get the cowboy hat himself, you know? Who's slacking down there? Sure, it wasn't expected.
That was a big home run, though. It gets you right back in the game, and then Trout ties it up.
Somewhere there's just a drawer full of those Halo stickers. And you know what? You know what? If you haven't hit a home run for your hometown team ever, I think you just got to roll with it.
Yeah. You say you want to take that hat off? No. Nah, I'm hanging on to it.
Such a good guy. And really smart when it comes to talking baseball. And we've seen him kind of lead some team meetings. There's a future in him whenever his playing days are over, if he wants to stay involved in this great game somehow, some way.
His parents have said many times watching the games how happy he is to be able to put this uniform on for the first time. He wants to keep this uniform on for as long as possible.
Oh, got him looking. Matt unhappy with the call. Big strikeout for the first out here in the 6th.
Pretty good changeup. It's an unhittable spot. You give up on it because you think it's off the plate and low.
No Culpa brings up Duffy, brings up Ford. You know, Mike has 3 homers with the Angels this season, his 4th team, but a significant run in this Angels uni. With Walsh going down with the injury and the eventual surgery.
You know, Damon Mayshore is aware of this right now with Eli Morgan. He's allowed 5 stolen bases in 6 attempts, 7 in 8 attempts in his career. Taylor Ward with 3 stolen bases, been caught 3 times. It might not be a bad time to be on the move. And that's all the data they have. They know exactly what pitches most pitchers fall into and counts. So you go with that and have a better chance to be successful stealing the base. So high percentage of times on a 1-2 count against a left-handed batter will throw a changeup. About 42% of the time. Threw a real good changeup to the righty Matt Duffy. This could be a changeup time. Gives you a better chance to be successful stealing the base on a changeup.
Lifted towards right field. Gonzalez got a late jump, but comes in and makes the play. 2 down. Taylor Ward remains at first. We'll give you a quick word from Kia.
Presenting Kia's lineup of exceptionally capable all-wheel drive SUVs.
Also Morgan dealing with a leadoff walk to Ward, strikes out Duffy. Ford flies out, and we have ourselves a pinch hitter. Mickey Moniak going to pinch hit for Joe Adell. It's going to bring Hedges out to talk things over with Morgan. Phil Nevin's not afraid to make substitutions. He's got a really good feel.
Triple-double yesterday.
Sorry, you dropped the triple-double yesterday?
Yeah, not the Russell Westbrook. This is the triple and a double in the game.
Ah, got it. Not basketball, but as far as NFL is concerned, I joined that suicide pool by the Angels. One and done. Out. History. Thanks for asking me. Hold my head in shame entering the bus.
Good arm speed on his changeup.
One on, two out, and an 0-2 pitch coming to Moniak. And a swing and a miss. Chase that high fastball. Leadoff walk. Stranded. Eli Morgan gets out of it.
A new quest has begun.
A quest for success.
Wow! What a star by that one.
A quest for redemption. My quest begins now.
Unbelievable!
All the way to October.
Oh my goodness!
Only on MLB Network.
That's gone! Struck him out!
Our national pastime, all the time.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network.
Replay celebrating Kingfish. Tim Salmon, 1,000th career hit. Of course, all with the Angels. Finished with 1674. So Kingfish, if you're not somewhere on a boat or out in the wilderness hunting something, just glad you're watching and congrats.
Boy, he had an idea and a plan every single bat. If you had a good slider, he's sitting on a slider. If you're a fastball guy upstairs, he's sitting and trying to go the other way. Sinker, he's trying to turn on that one. Such a good student of the game as far as hitting for Tim Salmon.
20 years ago, that big giant celebration. Reid Detmers facing Owen Miller. Yeah, Tim is a really interesting guy to talk hitting with, and how he will study pitchers and what his plan was. I certainly think any young player should take advantage. Talking to some of the veterans that have been there in the game before, Moniak and Lepp, be it yourself as far as pitching is concerned or hitting with Salmon. GA. Wealth of knowledge at your fingertips. That's going to be a line drive, a base hit opposite way. Leadoff single for Miller.
Fastball up, lines at the right center. Most right-handed batters pretty good on elevated pitches. Owen Miller, 2 hits in the game already.
Andres Jimenez down. We're tied at 4. Top half. Angels had the leadoff man aboard. Morgan was able to get out of it. You see Aaron Loop is up. Can Detmers replicate what Morgan accomplished? Reid has really settled in since that second inning.
Well, that's all over the strike zone again. And he's hearing it. Ron Coppola is hearing it from the dugout right now. That's all over the strike zone.
3-0.
Changes the whole course of an at bat from 2-0. You have to try to make a perfect pitch. Aimed at 2-0. It's 1-1. It's different.
Wouldn't expect him to be swinging here. Never know. Inside is the call. Ball 4, first and second, nobody out. Well, decision time here for Phil Nevin. He perhaps has made up his mind. Yep, he calls for Aaron Loup. 5+ for Reid Detmers. He's given a chance here in the 6th. It's certainly battled. Leaves this game tied at 4. Pitching change. Loup is coming on. We'll be right back.
MLB Big Inning brings you the biggest plays of the night, live as they happen. Don't miss the ultimate baseball highlight reel. It's nonstop action on MLB Big Inning every night on MLB.tv.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jackie Robinson, 13 home runs into the left field stands.
Here comes Roger Maris. There's a new home run champion of all time. I don't believe what I just saw.
Cal Ripken Jr. has reached the unreachable star. This crowd on its feet and in unison.
This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza! The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Welcome to the first night of MLB Network.
Number 600 for Jim Thome.
That ball is gone.
106. That would be a new record. It is caught. Oh, what a catch by Mike Trout.
The Cubs have finally won it all. The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
Southern California Cadillac dealers. Buy Jack in the Box. Spicy chicken strips are back at Jack in the Box for a limited time, starting at just $5.49.
What a swing that was for Trout. Take a look at our Frontier play sense for Trout. How he's been hitting a fastball very far and effectively the last 3 games as far as this home run barrage he is on. Fastball upstairs. McCullers Jr. out left center. Urquidy, fastball, inner part of the plate, lined out to left field for Trout. And then tonight, fastball again. Pilkington, lower part of the strike zone. Trout, dead center. 422, so 3 straight games with home runs on fastballs. The pitch that he saw a lot early in the season is Justin Welded at now. That's his 22nd home run versus a fastball this season for Trout. 22 home runs versus heaters.
He's got 35 homers on the season, does Trout. He tied the game up. Aaron Loup is coming in for his 55th game, dealing with 2 runners on. Both Detmers' responsibility. Nobody out. Tyler Freeman is the batter. He's looking to advance the base runners. Fouls it off 0-1.
15 sacrifice bunts this season for the Guardians. Matt Duffy trying to stay back towards third, especially as the left-handed pitcher. And Aaron Loup will fall to that third base side of the pitching mound, give him a chance. If it's bunted hard to him, he can throw to third base, get the force out.
0-2. Well, what a big moment for the young Tyler Freeman, Guardians potential playoff team, 12th player to make their debut this year. Hit well, looking for two. Oh, what a try. Miller was able to get back to the bag, but we do have one big out.
Very, very close, but the right call.
If he was another step off the line.
A little bit too much of the plate also on an 0-2 pitch for Aaron Loup. Really got the out.
Good read by Miller to know where the fielder was. Hit pretty well. He could have easily been breaking to try to score.
That's why you'll notice base runners, especially at second base, will look, see where the infielders are set up.
Did he get Hedges? Looked like it did, or he got out of the way? Okay, so 1-0. Job by Stassi to keep that right there.
Hedges is a batter. You can get a double play. He's rolling to 7.
Big double for the Guardians catcher back in the second. Miller at second, Menes at first, one down. New pass faced Hedges once before, struck him out. We'll have 2 strikes on him.
Got him out in front of a cutter. Got a couple different options for Aaron Loup to be able to get that strikeout against Hedges here now. You can go to that break a ball down and in now. After the cutter was more of a flat pitch, you got him out in front where you sink that fastball away.
Let's see. Driven to left field. You got Moniak breaking over and makes a nice play and trying to double up Miller as well, but he gets back.
Yeah, Moniak had a really good double play turn in Minute Maid Park, sliding in and caught a ball and a long throw to the first base to double up the game where Shohei Ohtani was on the mound.
Well, 2 big outs. Nice play by Moniak. Some good plays made out in left field by both Adele and Moniak. Miles Straw now the batter, the number 9 hitter. He's had a good September. After an awful August. Has not hit well here at Progressive Field all season. Big reason why the Angels signed Aaron Loup to a big offseason contract for moments just like this.
Good sequence. Fastball, lower part of the strike zone inside, followed by a changeup, same plane, but this time it drops out of the zone.
It gets past Luke Velasquez. How about the glove on this guy? What a play. Those 2 runners stranded as we head to the 7th, tied up.
Every time he takes the field, he competes not only against the other team, but against the toughest adversary. himself. MLB Tonight, where the best outdo their best on MLB Network.
The game is changing, and so are the shows that talk about it. MLB Network's Off Base.
What's going on, everyone?
A modern baseball show for the modern baseball fan.
It doesn't get much better than sitting around and talking baseball.
Only on MLB Network.
First base, 2 out. That is the line single to left. Holy cow! Listen to the crowd.
The legend Minnie Minoso just going into the Hall of Fame, and the legendary Harry Carey on the call with the White Sox, dropping a holy cow.
Saying we have a chance here, got a base hit as a 50-year-old?
Maybe you. New pitcher for the Guardians, De Los Santos. We're in the top of the 7th. Remember in the 5th when Stassi led off with that double, eventually scoring on the Trout 2-run home run. See if we can get more of the same.
De Los Santos, good fastball. He's 93-97 with some movement. Curveball, slider, and a changeup.
That's popped up sky high and handled by Miller for the first out here of the 7th. Now we're going to see Andrew Velasquez going back over to the right side against De Los Santos. To have success, I marvel at it, considering the switch hitter hadn't done it since high school. Big league level, and he went oppo. I mean, come on.
Tell he sees the ball pretty well.
So it takes ball 1. So what about it? Erica Weston standing by. What more have you found out about the new decision to hit from the right side?
They really are enjoying what they're seeing in such a short amount of time, getting him to hit from that right side. Phil Nevin said today he was intrigued just to see how his reaction would be, especially on breaking balls with those good pitchers we faced in Houston the last couple of days. He said it was no flinch. He stayed in, caught a couple balls inside, and he was able to take it. He was really impressed by that, considering he's just now starting to do it for the first time in a long time. But they're pretty much leaving it up to him, and Andrew is basically looking at the splits. That's how he's deciding how he's going to match up on a day-to-day basis, but it's basically in his hands right now.
It's his decision. Thanks, Erica. And he would get 2 for flinching, so swing and a miss, 2-2. Any comparisons in your long career, Gooby, that you can see a player suddenly mid-season, towards the end of the season, make this switch? kind of hard, right?
Yeah, it's not easy to do because you're so used, because you always feel as a switch hitter, you have such an advantage when you're batting lefty against the righty. You see the baseball a little bit longer out of the right-hander's hand as compared to now batting right-handed against the right-hander, not used to how quickly that's going to be on you.
Well, that'll be a strikeout. So 2 outs here in the top of the 7th, and we'll give you a quick word from Mattress Firm.
Mattress Firm's Season of Dreams sweepstakes could take you to the World Series. Go to MLB.com/Season of Dreams to view official rules and to enter the Season of Dreams sweepstakes today.
So Luis Rengifo is going to be the batter, has an 8-game hitting streak. He'll hit from the left side. Mike Trout on deck. I would assume that De Los Santos is going to want to, attack Rengifo in the strike zone with fastballs, considering who waits on deck. Get a 2-out knock. Bring up the big boy.
We've all seen a lot of great seasons and stretches for Mike Trout, but as far as power, I haven't seen anything quite like this. He's a 3-time MVP, and Trout is running well. We saw that earlier, going down to 30.3 feet per second, going down there on a ground ball out, and then he hits a 422-foot home run to center.
Well, let's see if that gets through. Can he beat it out? Oh, they call him out at first.
They got to check that one.
Oh, if he is able to beat that, if they challenge this to bring up Trout. Let's see, Ray Montgomery on the horn.
Looks like they're going to check that.
And after Jimenez bobbled it, I didn't think he'd have a chance to get it.
Yeah, he beats that.
Oh, he's in there. And John Tumpain at first base.
I mean, he got in a great view, but you can see that foot on the base before that baseball is in the glove. Definitely. It's not secured in that glove at that point. And you got to take that shot because you got Trout coming to the plate. The way he's swinging the bat, you want someone on for him.
Without a doubt, we have ourselves a Nissan umpire review. They're looking at it now. You see Rengifo, he just saw it up on the big board here in Cleveland.
You see it a lot. Defense, they'll usually stick around when they think there's a good chance that's going to be overturned.
Yeah, look at that. You can see the back heel is on the bat.
Before that baseball is secured in there, but there's always that possibility they put up that call stance, but I think it's got to be overturned.
I'm going to throw my pen down to the floor. If it's not, I want to see Trout bat. He is on fire.
After review, you're calling the field stand. Runners out. Los Angeles loses the challenge.
Wow. Wow, you gave it the possibility. Hold on, throwing this down.
At Boll & Branch, we don't make bedding like everyone else. We make it better. We prioritize thread quality, not thread count. We source the finest 100% organic cotton to make the softest, most luxurious fabrics on earth. We're free from toxins, the way home should be. Boll & Branch is made different, so you can sleep better at night. Experience the difference at bollandbranch.com.
It's cheating. It's not even fair.
It's like the hitters know what I'm gonna throw every time.
I hate win reality.
I love it.
Be ready for real. Win reality.
We love going to games, but good seats get pricey. So we use Game Time. Game Time checks ticket prices in real time and finds you all the best last-minute deals. We got our seats 20 minutes ago for 60% off. Last-minute tickets at the best price in seconds. Download Game Time now.
Angels face the Mariners, 6:30 p.m. First 25,000 fans will receive one of those. An exclusive Trout City Connect bobblehead presented by OCNavigator.org. For more info, visit angels.com/promotions. He will lead off the 8th. However, he should have been hitting. Maybe right now, maybe sporting a cowboy hat. We will never know, as the call stands at first base on the out call made by John Tumpane. Moving on, I got a new pen. Bottom 7, tied at 4. Aaron Loop remains out there, leading off Stephen Kwan.
Swinging at the first pitch.
Better get it before it goes foul. I mean, goes back into fair play.
So that 8.5% of the time, it is upped a little bit now on swinging on the first pitch.
And he struck out back in the first. Just keeping us on our toes. Oh, 2. Just reaches for it. That's just an excellent piece of hitting. Maybe too much of the plate. 0-2. Kwan just pokes it out there and gets himself a leadoff single.
High contact percentage guy, tough to strike out, although Reid Detmers got him in the first inning. That leg kick he has, and still able to keep his hands back. It's impressive. Even with his body at times going forward, he keeps his hands back. And that's how he's able to make that consistent contact.
So here's Ahmed Rosario. Bottom 7, tied at 4. Halos have climbed back. They were down 4-0. 2 in the 4th, 2 in the 5th.
Aaron Loop has that good move to first base where you get the base runners to freeze or even go back. Ten career pickoffs for Loop.
Well, that's going to stay fair. That's down the third base line for Rosario into the left field corner. They're going to send Kwan. Moniak just gets to it. And that's going to give the Guardians the lead 5-4 on the double by Rosario.
Just right down the line. And it goes right in that corner. See how quick Kwan's getting around. He reads that, and right away he's thinking, I'm scoring. Cutting that angle down, a little bit of a stumble. Picks up his third base coach. No slow down on that one.
No. Sniper almost got him there around the second base. Phil Nevin's coming out. Going to make a pitching change. So single, RBI double. Loop is out of the game. 5-4 Guardians. As Tepera comes in, and we'll take a break.
To get more hits out here, start training in here. Introducing Win Reality. Game speed pitches anywhere, anytime. Hands in sync with eyes. Confidence in sync with your progress. Be ready for real Win Reality.
Did you know that ticket prices can actually go down right before the game? That's where Game Time comes in. Game Time tracks ticket prices in real time from thousands of trusted sellers, then shows you all the best deals. So we can get tickets at the last minute for up to 60% off. Download Game Time now.
Hi, we're Warby Parker, and we're all about making vision care convenient. That's why we developed the Virtual Vision Test app. Use it to renew your expired glasses or contacts prescription from home with your phone in about 10 minutes. If everything looks good, a doctor will renew your prescription for $15. It's as easy as reading the eye chart at a doctor's office, except you're at home. On your phone, like you probably are right now. Download Virtual Vision Test today.
Brought to you by Spectrum. Spectrum Mobile has unlimited talk, text, and data. Save up to 40%. Go to SpectrumMobile.com today. And by your Southern California Chevy dealers. Well, Ryan Tepera is on. Got 50 games already after 65 last year. Intentional walk with first base open to Jose Ramirez second straight time. Bill Nevin has decided to walk him. Can't argue with that decision. Oscar Gonzalez is going to be the batter. The Guardians have taken the lead here. Bottom of the 7th.
There's a lot of speed on the bases, though, for the Guardians. 15 stolen bases for Ramirez at first. Rosario with 13. They're top 3 in their lineup. 42 combined stolen bases. Got to keep an eye. Very look the second.
Saw Matt Duffy turn over the pitch comp to Tepera. I'm not sure if it was his or something to be fixed, but I agree. You brought this up last time. Maybe eventually every single player will be able to have the device in their cap and see what pitch is being thrown and location. Nobody out. 5-4 Guardians. Runners at first and second. Tomorrow's game, same time, same place. Jose Suarez on the hill for the Halos. Cody Morris, the righty, on the hill for the Guardians.
Guardians, a team that makes contact, doesn't strike out a whole lot, but they will hit the ball on the ground. Gonzalez has hit into 6 double plays. Tepera, when he's on his game, is going to get some ground balls. And Francona have him on the move here to take that scenario away.
Tepera delivers the slider for a strike. Count is 1-2. Oh, swing and a miss, chasing well off the plate on the slider. Big time strikeout.
Yeah, there's getting a chase, and then there's getting a chase like this. Well off the plate. Never even started near the plate. You have a young hitter being aggressive. You'll see that when it's twice now. The guy in front of you, Jose Ramirez, has been walked intentionally twice.
Owen Miller's 2 for 3. Such a big part of the game. 1-run lead for the Guardians. Late innings, have to try to keep it here.
That's a good decision. He's going to try to steal a base right now. Unable to get the runners over, Gonzalez. So now the base runners might take it in their own hand to get to second and third. You almost feel this is the pitch they're going to be going on right now.
28 combined stolen bases for both the runners out there in Rosario and Ramirez.
Ramirez can get a huge lead.
Popped up. Ford over. He's got it.
That's huge.
Oh, so big.
As a lead runner, you saw Jose Ramirez getting a huge lead, waiting to see if Rosario could pick the time to go, because you got to wait. Runner at first. Now it's not a biggest worry right now for the Angels. The batter is your concern.
Good one too, and Andres Jimenez. We've been north of 300 batting average the whole season until yesterday. In the top of the 8th, it'll be Mike Trout, followed by Ohtani. No swing. Check with Clint Vondrak.
Are they checking to see if it hit his foot? I think they're checking to see if that pitch hit him.
Copeland and Tom Payne going to discuss.
I think it hit the dirt, and then off the glove, Astasian hit his foot. Now you can hit the ground and hit your foot, and it would be hit by a pitch. It's one of those things, either you challenge or you don't challenge here.
Yeah, Francona's got a lot of energy about this. Somebody said something to him to set him.
See, that's where I think maybe he thought he got hit on that off the dirt. I don't think it hit him at all.
Bounced right over the shoe.
And the Angels right now wouldn't have, if they decided as a group here to make that decision, make that call, you couldn't challenge it then. Because you can challenge a hit by pitch if that's what they're talking about right now.
I don't know what Terry's so upset about, but he might find himself getting tossed from this one. It's a long leash from Ron Kolpa. There he goes. Oh my goodness. And Tito is absolutely incensed. And they love it here. Ron Kolpa throws Terry Francona right out of the ball game.
He gave him a long leash as far as the conversation going before he did eject Terry Francona. Now here comes Tepera coming in there. He wants to know if it was a strike then.
Oh, now Ron Copa is at his wit's end. Well, don't you just wish they were all mic'd up? First off, I'm sure Ryan Tepera does not like the fact he's had to wait around all this time.
He's trying to get a few extra throws in. That's what the part of it is. He's saying if I'm going to wait that long, I should be able to throw some pitches. I mean, it's almost 5 minutes since his last pitch. He hasn't thrown anything.
Oh, and now Nevin is tossed. The Copa's 2 for 2 here. Yeah, his expression says it all. Give me an idea what you think started all this. Francona thought he got hit. He wanted them to look at it.
You know, they called the ball and there was a peel down to third base. And Tepera's still getting his throwing in after all. He still got it in after all.
He's throwing about 98. He unleashed a couple of fastballs for his warm-up pitches. Well, we have 2 new managers. I'll tell you, everybody's on edge here in Cleveland. Wow.
The heart of rock and roll still beating.
Yeah, it's definitely got my heart rate going. Definitely over 6 minutes, maybe 7 since Tepera has thrown a pitch. Two out, still 2 on. And that's driven well, but that's going to go foul. I was going to say, Gooby, maybe that strike zone for Tepera is going to be like a little bread box right now if you get into it with the home plate umpire.
We've always said from the first day we saw Ryan Tepera in spring training, he had that still.
Yeah, you're starting to see it for sure.
Speaking of edge, everyone on their feet right now here.
Two on, 2 out. It got loud. Tepera's working with that pitch com. Can't hear it. Now that's the only real drawback that I could see. You get, I mean, the announced attendance is 12,461. They're pretty loud. But you get to the postseason and they see a pitcher unable to hear the calls, it's What's the record for the longest at bat in baseball history, by the way? Count's been 1-2 for, I don't know, 10 minutes. Ray Montgomery, acting manager for the Halos. DeMarlo Hale on the other side for the Guardians. A big moment here. Two and two. Rosario at second, Ramirez at first. It's a one-run ball game, bottom of the seventh.
Now both runners going to be on the move now. The guy we mentioned earlier hits breaking pitches extremely well.
And the 3-2. Handled. Velasquez played perfectly. Got him. Tepera gets through it. Keeps it right there, and he's got words now for Kolpa. And now a chance to cowboy up for the Halos. Mike Trout will lead off.
Every time he steps up to the plate, goes into his windup, or runs one down.
He caught it. Oh, you won't see a better one than that.
He competes not only against the other team, but against the toughest adversary, himself. MLB Tonight, where the best outdo their best on MLB Network.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jackie Robinson searching home run into the left field stand.
Here comes Roger Maris. There's a new home run champion of all time. I don't believe what I just saw.
Cal Ripken Jr. has reached the unreachable star. This crowd on its feet and in unison.
This one has a chance. Home run. Mike Piazza. The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Welcome to the first night of MLB Network.
Number 600 for Jim Thome. That ball is gone. 106. That would be a new record. It is caught. Oh, what a catch by Mike Trout. The Cubs have finally won it all. The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
You threw out Bobby V, Frenchie. That's cool. Looking forward to our Angels Live post-game show. Here at the Westin also will get all the reaction. We'll certainly find out what all that hubbubaloo, that rhubarb was about. Meanwhile, new pitcher, Trevor Stephan against Mike Trout. Faced off once before. He's homered in 7 straight games. The last one in the 5th, his 2-run shot tied it at 4.
Everybody will be looking at that game tomorrow night for Trout. Trying for history. Tied him up with a running fastball, 97.
Well, when they all tune in, I just think it's only fitting they tune in to our broadcast.
Of course. Set his fastball, 94, 99. He also throws a cutter with some depth to it, slider, changeup. No, he just missed that one too. Last 3 home runs have all been on fastballs on this road trip. 35 home runs on the season for Trout.
Four players in the American League have 20% or more of their team's total home runs, and well, 2 of them are here tonight for the Angels. Same team, Trout and Ohtani. 20.5 coming in.
So back-to-back splitters, split finger changeups. Even. Now 3-2 count now. That's the 3rd time for Trout in this game with 3-2 counts.
Got him.
Got him with a splitter. He's through 3 straight. This is his off-speed pitch.
Well, with 1 out here in the 8th, it's Shohei Ohtani. 0 for 2 with the walk.
In the game, .316 career hitter against the Guardians with 7 home runs.
Looking to tie it up right there. Another splitter.
So remember the splitter that Frankie Montas pitching for the Yankees at home against Shohei and hit a rocket out for a home run. At that point, the first time Montas has given up a home run versus splitter.
Well, Trout's already hit his 35th. Ohtani has 34. I mean, tie him, tie the game, 1 swing.
Still feels he goes to his splitter now. Wentz warming up. .98 with some run.
Couple of good takes by Shohei. It's the 2-1. Excellent piece of hitting opposite way. They had the shift to the right field.
Boy, that was a rocket the other way for Shohei. It's a 97-mile-an-hour elevated fastball that Ohtani just crushed on the line to left field. Yeah, he said, yeah, I'm good. It was a stolen base threat.
Taylor Ward's the batter. Ohtani at first, 1 out. Three walks. Got the benefit on that last pitch.
By the way, base stealers have been successful against Stefan 9 of 9 attempts. 16 of 17 in his career.
Taylor is being extremely patient tonight.
I feel like Shohei's going to be on the move here on this pitch.
This would be the count to do it. Does not go. Call the strike. 2-2.
So 3 sliders, a splitter, and 1 four-seam fastball. See, with his normal pattern on a 2-2 count against a right-handed batter, he's doing a secondary pitch 60% of the time.
Ohtani goes, and Ward fouls it back.
Shohei had a huge jump, and that was out of the strike zone. Huge jump. But with 2 strikes, you got to protect.
Stephen, 26 years old, from Austin, Texas, University of Arkansas. And a strikeout, back-to-back strikeouts. Well known in between was the Ohtani single, but 2 down.
Split finger changeouts can really effective. That was straight down.
Now Duffy with the 2-run home run in the 4th, his first as an Angel. Big opportunity for him here.
Shohei's got to try to steal a base to get into scoring position for Matt Duffy.
Doesn't have much of a lead.
It's a guy that doesn't get a huge lead anyhow. I think a base stealer's around 13, 14, maybe even 15-foot leads. Shohei's around 11 or 10 or 11. Trout's around the same thing.
And that's going to get through for a hit. First and second with 2 outs, so the runner in scoring position. Mike Ford is coming up. Pat Ohtani been able to get to second base. Could have tied it up here with a single, but
backup slider. Nice game overall for Matt Duffy. 2 hits, including a 2-run home run. Lefty versus lefty here now.
Interim manager DeMarlo Hale making a pitching change. We'll be right back.
pen and chase coverage than anyone. So all you got to do, boom, is watch. Catch the pen and chase every night on MLB Network.
Hey kids, join MLB Network and your favorite players for a show made just for you. Play ball. It's all the big moments, bat flips, and amazing plays from an exciting week of baseball and tips to up your game. Saturdays, 10 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network.
This ball game right now because both Tito Francona and Phil Nevin have been ejected, and here's what I'm told happened. Tito wanted a review on the Jimenez at bat, the ball that seemingly hit his foot. Ron Kolpa missed it. Terry didn't like the fact that they missed it. Phil Nevin also standing up for his guy Ryan Tepera, who was out on the mound for several minutes without a chance to throw some warm-up pitches. He told him he was not able to do so. Tepera didn't like that. As you can see, neither did Phil Nevin. So both managers getting their money's worth in this one tonight, guys. But that's what I'm told happened in the 7th inning.
Wow, thank you for the breakdown on that one. Certainly, what was the vibe like down there right in the Hornets' nest?
A lot of concerned faces, confused faces before they figured out exactly what had happened. But understandably so, both guys had a case fighting for their ball clubs in that one.
Thank you, Erica. Sam Hentges is the new batter. You keep, Mike Forty has 2 home runs against lefties, 2 for 10 on the season. Quickly 0-2.
Hentges 92-97, curveball, slider, changeup. High percentage 0-2, lefty versus lefty slider.
And that's quick work of Mike Ford. Hentges comes in, strikes him out on 3 pitches. Guardians still have a 5-4 lead.
MLB Tonight brings you more pen and chase coverage than anyone on MLB Network.
Today, I consider myself the luckiest man on the face of the earth.
Jackie Robinson searching home run into the left field stands.
Here comes Roger Maris. There's a new home run champion of all time. I don't believe what I just saw.
Cal Ripken Jr. has reached the unreachable star. This crowd on its feet and in unison.
This one has a chance. Home run! Mike Piazza!
The Boston Red Sox are world champions.
Welcome to the first night of MLB Network.
Number 600 for Jim Thome.
That ball is gone!
106. That would be a new record. It is caught! Oh, what a catch by Mike Trout.
The Cubs have finally won it all.
The Atlanta Braves are world champions.
Recognizes players who best represent the game through positive contributions on and off the field. Vote today at MLB.com/Clemente21. Nice to see our Angels fan. That's a great award, and congrats once again by Jared Walsh for being nominated.
Yeah, that's a very prestigious award. Something that every player would love to be able to win because it means you're doing so much for your community.
Send our best to Walshy in his recovery. Andrew Wantz is on. What a moment, though, for the bullpen to come through there for the Guardians. They had to get through that meat of the order there. Trout, Ohtani, Ward. And then first and second. And just strikes out Ford. Tyler Freeman 1 for 3. Bottom of the 8th. 5-4 Guardians in the opener of this 3-game series. Guardians have won 3 straight. Big sweep in Minnesota. And a 2.5 game lead in the Central. How are they doing it? Well, one way is the pitching and the defense, and they do not strike out. They're first in baseball in Ks per game. It's 6.88.
So they make the defense make plays against them. And with their pitching staff and bullpen, they always have a shot.
Renifo going back. Ward coming in. I assume he'll call for it. He does. 1 down. Hedges now the batter. 1 for 3. 2 RBI double. And Clase would be coming on for the save, and he is a good one.
That'll be a challenge.
Two-1 to Hedges. Count's going to be 2-2.
When the fastball away, strike, fastball in, jammed him.
Swing and a miss. And that's a strikeout for Wentz. 2 down.
That was textbook. Fastball away, fastball in, followed with a breaking ball down and away.
Miles Strauss, the batter, and the Andrew Wentz has had a really good season for the Angels. He's another one that wants to continue to impress the management of the team to have a role for next season. Certainly earned his teammates' respect. They all can throw hard. It comes down to the secondary stuff, right?
Between his cutter and his slider. 2 effective pitches.
On cue with the slider. 0-2. And how pitchers sequence their attack.
Now they're Reid hitters. What they seem to be looking for. Their timing.
Duffy handles that, throws across, wide throw. Nice play by Ford on the tag. Clase coming in, last chance for the Halos. Top of the 9th next.
Covering the pennant chase? Serious business.
Boys, get on my back. You got no respect for me. No. Believe in me, baby. I'm playing Tetris so much, I'm going cross-eyed.
It's no-nonsense analysis straight from the source.
Scotty knows.
I got donuts.
This time of year, we bring our game faces to work.
Whoa, coming at you.
When we're on that couch, we are locked in.
Start flapping my arms.
Every time he takes the field, he competes not only against the other team, but against the toughest adversary, himself. MLB Tonight, where the best outdo their best on MLB Network.
With the All-Star Emmanuel Clase coming in for the save. He has 33 on the season, and that's tied for most in the bigs. It's most in the American League. He had a streak of 25 consecutive saves, just recently snapped, but has converted 25 of 26.
A lot of usage too. This is 65th game this year, and his fastball overpowering. 98 to 102 and a nasty slider, and he throws a lot of them. But his fastball has movement and cut type action to it.
He's in his third year, second with the Guardians. Started with Texas Rangers in 2019. From Rio San Juan, Dominican Republic. Just 24 years old. And one of the best in the game.
I think you're for Mickey Moniak going against Clase here. Left-handed batter. He throws nearly a little over 86% fastballs first pitch. He's going to provide the power. If you get that barrel of the bat out there, if you make some contact with it, I think you're best suited to go and be aggressive against the first pitch.
Moniak didn't start the game. Adele started in left and replaced him halfway through. He's 0 for 1 with a strikeout.
See that type of movement he has on it too. It's not a straight fastball.
That is just a filthy slider at 91. 0-2 is the count.
Huge fan favorite here as soon as he came out of the bullpen.
I can see why. That's a tough play at first, but handled by Miller on the short hop. One away. Moniak didn't get all of it, but put it in play. Max Stassi will be the batter with one down. Triple digits, but like you said, with some serious run.
For your goal here, if you're Max Stassi, you know, you love to see him tie it up with a swing, but get on base and then you get a pinch runner for him. More likely to be Sierra.
Foul back, 1-1. Matt Thaiss is in the on deck circle. fastball, it's the slider. The problem is knowing what he's going to throw.
He gets tremendous spin rate on both his fastball and his slider. Well above average. I mean, that's late life.
To center field. Straw is there. And he has it. 2 outs. And here comes the last chance, unless he could get on. Matt Theis is going to pinch hit for Velasquez. And certainly the first look Theis has had of Class A. Two outs, top of the ninth, 5-4 Guardians.
.101. Not an easy thing to do, to come off the bench and have to deal with a 101-mile-an-hour fastball.
Yeah, not easy that's a nice way to put it.
He's not messing around. He's throwing a ton of strikes.
They're on their crowd's on its feet here at Progressive Field. The 0-2. And registered as a cutter at 99.
Yeah, pretty much all his fastballs are registered as cutters. That's pretty unbelievable to be throwing 101 with a cutter.
And the 1-2. Good hack.
Hopefully Ron Kulpa's all right. That's got him square back in the mask. And is able to hold him up.
Trainer's coming out to just make sure he's okay. Wow.
Well, you see how quickly that baseball right back hit Ron Kulpa. High velocity of pitches and the swings of batters. Those foul balls back at catchers and home plate umpires. Really, really difficult.
Putting him through a couple of tests. Pretty amazing how quickly Hedges was able to recognize it, went off and played umpire on Kulpa and was able to be there to assist him.
It's that friendship home plate umpire and catcher has, because catchers have been in that same position where the home plate umpire helps them.
And some of the other umpires are now coming in. Safety first. Well, that might be it.
And he might have to go in and get a different umpire to put on the home plate umpire gear. And they are going to make the switch. And that got Ron Culper square, and you could see how the baseball hit the mask and the way he reacted. I think it's the wise decision.
Yep. Yeah, it's so important to make sure he's going to be okay. It's worth it. We'll take a break and be right back.
Get closer to the action.
You gotta be kidding me.
Closer to the big blast.
Way, way, way out of here.
Coach grabs.
Took a home run away.
Closer to the jaw-dropping play.
Unbelievable.
With more highlights.
He struck him out.
More analysis.
You're going to see athleticism like you've never seen before.
And more live look-ins.
Wow.
Nobody gets you closer to the game every night. Only on MLB Network.
Game for safety precautions after getting hit with a foul ball right off the mask. Hit him squarely too, with Manuel Clase throwing 100. And so we got ourselves, a little bit of a delay while you get a new umpire all geared up. And it has been a busy night, Gooby, for sure, for Ron Coppola. So this was in the 7th with Jimenez, the batter. And, Terry Francona wanted to know why they didn't look at it to see if he got hit. He didn't challenge. He got tossed. Now, Tepera, he's furious because he wanted some warm-up pitches.
I mean, he had to wait 5 minutes to throw a baseball.
He gets tossed. So he ended up owning that one for Tepera. He needed his pitcher out there. So Coppo's heard it from both guys. He got an earful from Tito, an earful from Nevin, and then a face full of baseball off the mask. And that's now the count's 1-2, really one strike away from the ball game being over for, so Clase's had a lot of time.
Great job by Hedges there to hold him up, Ron Culpa.
Well, in case you're just joining us, Mike Trout continues his tear as one of the hottest hitters in the game, and really one of the hottest streaks he has been on at the plate in his career. You said it. I mean, we're talking about a 3-time MVP who has homered in 7 straight games.
Just one off the major league record, tying the major league record of 8 straight games, so 7 in a row for Trout. Club record, and he is crushing fastballs. And it's not just a pull to left field. It's been to center. It's been to right center. It's been on the left field line. It's been to left center.
On tomorrow night, you're going to want to tune into our game as Trout looks to tie history. We're talking, I remember when Don Mattingly was on that run, and you couldn't believe it. He was like, you had to see what was going on. Griffey Jr. That's 8. That's the record. Last year, remember, Votto went on that incredible run. So
Carlos Torres,
yeah,
yes.
Carlos Torres has gone from being a second base umpire to home plate umpire.
Here's why you don't do that. I mean, John Payne is going to be behind the plate tomorrow night. You usually never see that where the guy at first base would be in that position to move behind the plate because he's going to be there tomorrow night, very next day.
So now Clase is going to go through some warm-up pitches. You basically need a football helmet on for these umpires back there. The amount of force that you have to absorb on that foul ball. So we hope that Ron Kopel's going to be okay. We're back to business here. Clase looking for his 34th save. Guardians lead this one 5-4. The count is 1-2 to Matt Thaiss.
A 94-mile-an-hour slider.
And he missed that by a lot, considering how effective he was before that break. Two out towards left field, drifting into the seats.
Going back to our Hyundai key for the game today, hungry like the wolf. 101-mile-an-hour fastball. He's providing the power, hungry enough to try to drive that fastball. It had some carry to it. Just get the barrel to that high-velocity fastball.
And the 2-2. Foul back again.
It's a 99-mile-an-hour cutter. So quite a few cutters, a couple sliders in there.
And a strikeout to end the ball game. Save number 34 for Emmanuel Clase, the most in the bigs. 5-4 is the final. The Guardians take game one of this three-game series.
Pretty good battle throughout. Mike Trout, 7th game in a row with a home run. Matt Duffy, first career home run as a Halo. But the Guardians found a way, like they have for quite a bit this season, to win a close game by 1.
Back at it tomorrow for game 2 of the series, and Jose Suarez on the bump. Gooby and I will see you then, but stay tuned for an all-new Angels Live next.